All right, we're recording for YouTube. Hey, YouTube, welcome to yet another ShiftBugGaming VOD. This one is going to be another IG Collective or Indie Game Collective showcase of Blake the Visual Novel. Yep. Oh, and so in case you were curious, if you want to, you don't have to. There's no obligation, but that's my YouTube right there. But yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube and you're coming to my channel for the first time, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also come to my Twitch and feel free to follow if you're interested. On phone right now, so I'll check later. Not a problem. I appreciate it anyways, dude. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna get right into this. I am going to just fix my webcam though, just a little bit. Okay. All right, I think that works. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to boot up Blake the Visual Novel. I have no idea what this is about, to be honest. I hope I can full screen this thing. There we go. Damn, that music is loud, bro. Sorry, I keep like switching between my other screen. There we go. I feel like that's a little better, like right here. Alright, then we'll have the sound effects right there. That should do. That should be okay. All right. Sick. All right, let's get right into this. Blake, the visual novel, contains themes around mental health, violence, and destructive behaviors. The images, themes, and language used within this game may be disturbing or triggering to some players. Viewer discretion is advised. You heard it here first. Press spacebar left click, enter to continue, plus V to toggle self-voicing. Self-voicing. Okay, so is there gonna be like voice acting? I love voice acting. Love voice acting. Okay, so I got open eyes or step forward. I don't know, open eyes? Blake felt the cold air on his face as he opened his eyes. He stepped back from the ledge. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't step forward. Holy shit. Blake woke up.
Self-voicing enabled. Blake, what a weird.
Okay,
self-voicing disabled.
We're not doing that. I just wanted to see what kind of voice it was. It's a Microsoft Sam. It's either Microsoft Sam or Microsoft Mike. I can't remember which one is which. Alright. What a weird dream. It felt so real. I must have slept so heavy I didn't hear my alarm go off. Blake was seldom tardy for work, or any other occasion for that matter. No time for his morning peanut butter on toast. He couldn't be late. He was still considered new at ICC. Only days away from completing probation, and he had to make a good impression. I better get going. Life can be often unpredictable, and this was particularly true for Blake. Random happenstances. Random happenstances? 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 Happenstances. Happenstances. I didn't even know that was a word, but that's awesome. Happenstances had a way of following him like a stubborn pebble wedged into the sole of his shoe. No amount of picking could dislodge it, and it was accompanied by a certain amount of discomfort with every step. And he would never admit it, but sometimes he may even consciously trod on the stones of spontaneity. Blake. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, that's a good design right there for font. On a daily basis, Blake's colleagues at ICC would bicker over the best immersive gaming experience of the year, brag about their newest techie purchases, and speculate on who would meet their demise on the popular weekly e-screen installment of Fixing Good. I think installment is spelled wrong. I think it has to have 2 L's. I'm not sure. Blake's playing it. Oh, that's a girl. Max's eyes suddenly popped up from behind the top of the computer screen. Don't you think of the offline co-op mode AI in Futures as totally Ven? Am I right? I'm right? Max leaned towards Blake's direction, and with a hand walling her mouth and a forcible whisper, she exclaimed, "Back me up, Blake." Olo spurted out an intentionally inelegant laugh, which in turn made Max giggle. Vin, what are you? Are you from another planet? What the fuck does Vin mean? You're just making up words. It means ridiculous, just like your laugh. Anyway, he doesn't give two hoots about Futures, you big nerd. You can talk, the only one here who owns a whole VR room. Last time you get to use it then. There they go again. Hey, Blake. Oh God, not her. Please, not her. He swiveled in his chair. Hey, Harry. Harry was a masterpiece, best admired from afar. She was one of those beautiful paintings that could speak 1,000 words without saying anything. Seriously though, she could try not saying anything sometimes. So she's a fucking annoying bitch. Did you have a good weekend? Her fingers spiraled in her hair as she tilted her head in curiosity. Didn't do much, just the usual. You? Why did he even ask? OMG, yes. I went on a road trip with my girlies to the forest and we ate marshies over the fire. They were delish. And I saw a unicorn. My friends had said I wouldn't see one out there, but I finally did. If every sentence she spoke was written, Blake imagined they would always end in exclamation marks. Excuse me, what? I heard a noise in the middle of the night, unzipped my tent, and in the distance, I swear I saw a unicorn galloping through the trees. I must have startled it. Did she seriously think unicorns exist? It was probably a cow or stag or something, just not a unicorn. Harry's skin flushed to a color similar to Max's hair. Pink? She turned pink? She needs to go to the hospital. Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, you should come along with us next time. We could have a barbecue at night and look for shooting stars. Putting up with her for a whole weekend would be a tough feat, but maybe it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, she's pretty good looking, even though she might be a ditz and a dumbass. She's pretty good looking. As long as you stop being a freak. I'd love to. Awesome, can't wait. Blake smiled softly and turned back to his work, a giggle sang from Harry as she headed back to her female colleagues, with a small skip in her step, eager to tell them about the conversation. A slender figure hovered beside the desk. It was Junior Techspert Lee. ICC snapped him up before he could throw his graduation hat in the air. No one knew what Lee's forename was. Most people in the office didn't realize it, but it was his surname. But Blake hadn't noticed. Hey, what's up, Mark? Woman. Gender equality. RKO them all. What? He noticed Lee's email address started with S.Lee, not the standardized first name dot surname layout. Lee was like a ball of plasma that dissipated nervous energy. His vision flitted from one thing to another, mostly managing to avoid meeting the eyes. It was as though he was preoccupied with taking in everyone and everything. His hands, though, I know, his hands would literally fucking destroy my face. Like, he would just like, he'd be like, hey, high five, bro, and I would go to high five, and then he would just crush my fucking hand, and then I would just be like, no! He displayed anxious head twitches after every sentence, but his voice wore a friendly and happy tone. Most of the time, he was elusive and hardly ever spotted around the office, or maybe the word notice was more apt. Hey, Blake! I'm not doing that voice. Lee held a smile as his eyes scoured over Blake's desk space. Mr. Gordian would like to see you in his office if you have a moment. Sure, of course. Let's go. Max and Orlo continued to argue over few chores behind the desk, and looked like they were about to try to involve him again. Now Blake had an excuse to slip away from the office debate and abstain from choosing sides. Kind of reminds me of Shaggy. Yeah, if Shaggy was a hipster with headphones, yeah, I can see that. Well, hello there, Mr. O'Gartley. How's things? Going well, I hope? Ryan was the chief operating officer at ICC. Whenever Blake saw her in the office, she was usually rushing around on urgent business. To be in her position within one of, if not the world's leading tech firm, meant she had to be extremely efficient. Although Blake had been working there for a while, he hadn't talked to Ryan much. It was always brief pleasantries and small talk. So it took him aback when she had said his name. He's Shaggy, but chattier. He's Chad Shaggy. I can see that. I can see, like, it's just like, zoinks. Maybe that's, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for his voice. I'm gonna talk like Shaggy. Chatty? Shaggy. Chaggy! Chaggy? Zoinks! They weren't on first names terms yet. All good, thanks. I've been told Mr. Gordian wants to see me about something. Is he about? He should be back any minute. This is kind of embarrassing, but I've been meaning to have a get-to-know-you chat. I've been so busy, then poof, 2 months have whizzed by. She gave an encouraging and gentle smile. For someone with so many plates to spin, she had defyingly calm and welcoming aura. The conversation was cut short as Jonathan entered the office. Ah, I see you're already here. Welcome. Take a seat, Blake. Rye, will you be joining us? I'm a busy bee today, so I must dash. Blake, we'll have a catch up soon. Oh, and Jonathan, I've left those papers you asked for on your desk. Still have no idea why you use that stuff. She chuckled. That's lovely. Thank you, Rye. God, why is everyone like so fucking buff looking? Like, in their hands look like they could crush a fucking dick. Like, could you imagine trying to jerk off with that hand? Like, if I tried to do that, it would be like jerking like a Tic Tac. That's what it would be like for me. He nodded in appreciation. A barely visible wave from her hand could be seen as she rushed out the door, set on the work ahead. Their hands can crush a watermelon. Yes, exactly. Jonathan settled down into his overpriced real leather ergonomic "I'm the founder of the successful corporation" chair. All of his energy turned to Blake. So, Blake, you wanted to see me, Mr. Gordian? It was a regular occurrence for Jonathan to request mini-meetings with his staff. He said he liked to check up on the newest members to see how they were settling in. This is some fine work you carried out on the Promenade case. The only thing I'd like to point out is the daily stats on your spreadsheet. They don't correspond with the correct dates. Apart from that minor alteration, it's all looking very dandy. Jonathan was holding a copy of the screenshot in his hand. A paper screenshot. Blake had rarely seen paper up close. Jonathan laid it down flat against the table and slid it towards Blake. The material bowed upwards from the rush of the air in front of him before it rested back down. Paper used to be made from trees. A little known fact for you. They're not made from trees? What? I guess this is in the future. Now they only manufacture it by 3D printing a synthetic material, and it feels a lot smoother in comparison to the original. He looks like he owns Wall Street. He probably does. He owns the company. Blake reached over and grasped onto the sheet of paper. It felt drier than he'd anticipated, and this made him notice how clammy his hands or palms were. This paper was made from the odd enthusiasts like myself, and I use odd in both manners of the term. Blake studied the figures on the handheld screenshot. Looks like a couple of equations have got out of sync. It'll be a quick fix. My apologies. After analyzing the data, he set the paper back down on the table, and to his disdain, his grip left behind creased remnants. I'm gonna go 3D print a wife. You know, that's probably possible. That's probably gonna be a possible thing. People are probably gonna do that. But the problem is that the 3D printing shit, it's gonna rip your dick in half if you try to have have intercourse with it. It'll just literally rip it. So, ribbed for no pleasure. Good. It's no problem. Anywho, that's not the reason I asked you here. I knew you haven't been in the company very long, and you have quite the workload. A stress headache started to rear its ugly head, and momentary double vision distracted Blake. He thought about how no one had come up with a cure for migraines yet. Staring at screens all day couldn't be healthy. Bold of you to assume I'm gonna touch anyone before marriage. Doesn't matter if it's before or after marriage, it's still ribbed for no pleasure. You're going to lose it. Your dick is gonna be raw, bro. Or look at anyone. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some more coffee. Be right back. Boo. All right, I'm back. Bold of you to assume I'm gonna get married. Well, let me tell you something. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Doesn't matter if you're gonna 3D print your wife. Just expect a tear to happen, okay? That's all I'm saying. Oh, and by the way, this is the new Shift Champ t-shirt. Forgot. I wanted to quickly do a little shout out to it. I'm gonna become a wizard. This is the Shift Champ shirt. You can buy it on my store if you'd like it. But yeah, this is Shift Champ, and on the back it's got ShiftBugGaming. Yep, I love it. It looks awesome. Feel free to use Command Store if you're interested. And it all goes towards the cause of me trying to make a living off of this. So it does look awesome. I'm glad you like it, dude. Yeah, it's I thought it came out really, really, really awesome. So anyway, back to business. Okay. All right. He thought about how no one had come up with a cure for oh, I already said that. Thankfully, it was a brief for Blake, but he realized he'd completely missed what Jonathan had said. He hoped it wasn't anything too important. Smile and nod. Blake smiled and nodded as if he'd caught the last part of the conversation. Jonathan nodded reassuringly and delivered a warm smile. You're doing well, Blake. I hope you realize that. I have an exceedingly crucial project coming up, so I need someone I can count on. I'd like you to be a part of it. It will allow you to show me what you can manifest. Oh, and the annual well-being test deadline is today, so if you haven't done that yet, make sure you get it sent off. It should be in your inbox. It's only a few questions long, so I shouldn't take too much time to do. Max and Orlo were still in deep conversation. Did they ever do any work? Do you remember Eric, the droid guard, who used to bounce to the reception? Yeah, I do actually. What happened to him? I heard they keep him in a big bag in the room behind the front desk. Really? Yeah, he was sacked. Oh man, I fell for that one. I wonder what actually happened to him though. A notification popped up on Blake's screen. One new email. I should probably do the well-being test. So we got a TikTok girl and an uncle. Pretty much. Alright, let's see here. Well-being test. Employee Blake O'Gartley. This form is not anonymous. All information is secure and shared only with ICC Specialist Department for the use of monitoring all ICC staff's well-being. Support may be offered to tailor to your needs at work. How are you feeling today, Blake? I'm feeling pretty good. Out of the following fears, which do you relate to the most? Failure at my job, struggling to pay my bills. Someone watching me in my own privacy. Being framed for a crime I didn't... Alright, well, there's a couple here that I'm a little concerned about. This one, I literally have fucking nightmares about not being able to pay my bills. And this one, being framed for a crime. We'll do that. We'll do that. If you could see a scale above people's heads that measured one part of their status, /N, what would you want to know about them? Their happiness, their wealth, their honesty, their naivety. Honestly, I think I would want to see their honesty, because I would like to see if someone's fucking lying to me. How often would you say your days differentiate enough for you to distinguish within a week? Every day is different. The majority of days are different. Not many days are different. Every day is the same. I mean, I would say that every day is a little different. You know, it's not always going to be the same. I'm going to go with that. Oh, I'm done? Oh, okay. Alright, what's this? Meeting invite. To discuss a new project I'm assigning to you both, I ask you kindly not to mention anything about this project to any of your colleagues, except. Sign Harry's birthday card, except. To Milton. Oh, bye. Fucking stupid. Read a message. Happy birthday. My condolences. I am so sorry that you had a birthday today. HB. Happy birthday. Blake. Your message has been added to Harry's birthday card. Nope, you're wrong. Kill the R is a good person. That's why they do what they do. If that's so, why are they accepting all that money made from publicity instead of giving it to charity? I know Blake agrees with me here. We were talking about it last week. Stop trying to drag people into your losing battle, Orlo. It doesn't work. So it's only okay when you do it? Agree with the Orlo that the belt on her is fucking huge. Yeah, it's to whip me with later, bro. I'm gonna spank my ass with that giant belt of yours. Oh, yes! I want that belt. Belt, daddy. I'm sorry, I get carried away. It's the caffeine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. Agree with Orlo that Kill VR is not a good person. Ignore them and look busy. Ask them if they ever stop arguing. Ben 10's watch on her wrist. It is. I mean, it's very similar. Do you two ever stop arguing? Yes. No. They looked at each other quietly and smiled, then sheepishly went back to work. Are you two fucking? I'm pretty sure you two are fucking. Oh shit, she's gonna transform. Yes. She's gonna transform into a belt to slap my ass. Max started to frantically prod at her screen and all eyes slowly looked around her. What the helicopter? Someone has changed the details on my spreadsheet for the radar project. All of my work, it's totally gone. Nope, not me, I swear. Offer to help Max fix her spreadsheet. Tell Max about your spreadsheet. Don't get involved. I'll help you. I can help you get your save file from yesterday's backup, but it won't have any of the work you've done today. Who says what the helicopter? I was thinking the same thing. I've never heard that before. It's interesting. Oh, I just realized my IG Collective logo is in the way. I'll put it up here. That works. At least say what the truck. Yeah, sorry about the recording, guys. It's blacking out every time I go to my stream screen. Thanks, Blake. That's kind of you, but I can sort it. Are you fucking serious, Mark? I hope you're fucking happy. I hope you're happy. Are you happy? Are you happy that you're gonna make me miserable for the rest of the fucking day? I hope you're happy. You're gonna get banned. No, I'm just kidding. Alright. Here we go. I wore shorts this time, so now I'm ready. My body's ready for this. Oh, I should probably take my headphones off because they're wireless, so I don't get to really do much. Alright. Oh, fuck my wrists. This is what happens when I work at a distribution center. My wrists fucking suck. Shit. I'm really happy now. Cheers to me doing that. Cheers to myself. Nothing like drinking coffee right after you worked out. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Continuing on here. Thanks, Blake. That's kind of you, but I can cite it. Max and Orlo both smiled in appreciation. I don't know why anyone would go into my work and change it, though. I know, it's Vin. That's not what that word means, Orlo. Welcome, Blake. I'm so glad you accepted my invite, and it's good to see you again. I have an exciting project for you to get involved in. Usually meetings were held in one of the 4 12-seater meeting rooms. However, this seemed to be more of a cozy affair. Blake preferred it to be in the meeting rooms, which were always set in an extreme temperature. He theorized that the temperature was deliberate, a freezing cold room when meetings required full alertness and flowing creativity. or a thirsty warmth that could pull or lull you into a light slumber of compliance when the agenda was one where fewer opinions were appreciated. Chris, this is Blake, one of our newest recruits. Oh my god! Oh my god! This ain't Chris, this is Chad. This is flat out Chad. Fucking look at your arms! Your arms are bigger than my fucking body! What is up with you, bro? I don't... I got an idea for a voice. For a man of such otherworldly stature, Chris gave Blake a disappointingly limp handshake. Maybe he was purposely exercising caution. After all, those paws could easily crush a coconut. Yeah, they could. This is Chad Thundercock. Run. Actually, it's Giga Sigma Alpha Chad Thundercock. Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. And you. Gentlemen, take a seat. I think we all know now what's going on. I'm pretty sure he's on steroids, bro. Chris and Blake shuffled onto the sofa in the office, perched beside one another. Jonathan stood in front of them and made use of the projected touchscreen on the wall behind them. You may have noticed the agenda and the meeting invite was missing. Blake and Chris nodded in tandem. Jonathan brought up the meeting invite onto the screen and swiped his hand across the empty space after the word agenda. A black box appeared over the text, which highlighted and revealed the words Project HG. The project name had been written in white against the background, which had concealed the words on the screen. Jonathan smirked to himself, thrilled at the opportunity to finally employ a classic spy trick used by protagonists in the espionage novels of bygone years that he so loved. He steeled himself from the introduction, intended to be seared with finesse, sprinkled with style, and served up with a panic. The project is going to be about making a 3D wife. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. At least this was how he hoped to deliver it. Jonathan often considered himself a pompous old fool and marveled at the fact the rest of the world hadn't caught on yet. Every instant message and email you send, every word you speak or text, every update you make on your phone, every moment when your e-screens, consoles, and computers are on, they are all recording your data. Blake suppressed a smile, musing that here he was witnessing Jonathan at his finest. The gleam in the CEO's eyes was like that of a religious zealot, compelling those around him to follow. Blake wondered if this was a trait Jonathan had always possessed, or if it was a latent ability that manifested later in life. For a few shadowy clients whose circumstances and contracts decree they shall remain anonymous, we have been working on Project HG. Let's go, we're gonna sell data. Woo! A system that blocks all records of the sender's ID, location, even their existence when used. Imagine text filling your screen as though plucked from from the ether itself, utterly incognito. Just think of the military and security applications. It's as though you're receiving a message from a ghost, a spy's dream. Heavens, why do you think they call themselves spooks? Jonathan decided to omit the line about it having nothing to do with the regular haunts, comprising of the flash car dealerships and boudoirs of high-class call girls. Bro, that's real already. Is it? He concluded that an extended metaphor could often prove irksome, and the mention of fast cars and loose women may distract his listener's mind from the crucial subject matter. Maybe, who knows? Jonathan took out a flat handheld screen, not any model Blake recognized. The phone in the center of the desk was released of a disruptive twitter in between Chris and Blake. Who does it say is calling? The display unit lit up and displayed incoming call from. The incoming call stopped. Complete anonymity. 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 I had a stroke trying to figure out how that was. His voice lowered toward the end of the word anonymity for dramatic effect, and he interlaced his fingers in a satisfied power pose. Blake could only hope that one day he'd be able to captivate an audience with such passionate verve. And although Jonathan's theatrical performance was inspiring, to say the least, he found his attention dared to flicker over to Chris. Once Blake had noticed Chris' inelegant idiosyncrasies out of the corner of his eye, he couldn't help but monitoring him periodically throughout the meeting. Chris's left hand was placed on the smooth, black meeting room table in a fist, while the right was held an obsolete and unusually large E-pen, positioned as if to note something down, but not accompanied by a tablet. The feeling of Chris's gaze twitching over him, accompanied an uncomfortably blank expression, caused an uneasiness to slither through Blake. Give him a VTuber waifu model and he's gonna control the world. Yeah, I guess. What? VTuber waifu model and he's gonna control the world. Oh. Yeah, he probably would. Primarily, the HG device is an advanced crypto processing software. We collated feedback from our clients, and the results show that they desired software that solely connects the HG device, rendering it incompatible with any other hardware. This means the software is highly, if not completely secure from interception of piracy. There are currently two types of HG, the flat tablet and the touchboard tablet. Jonathan showed the sleek black tablet. The touchboard slid out from underneath the screen with a satisfyingly smooth click into position. The touchboard was blank, the keys only illuminated once the gadget was activated. Piracy is cool though. You remember LimeWire? I'm gonna download all these free songs, but I'm also gonna get a fucking Trojan in my computer. Give my computer some STDs. Where do you think I get all my games? I get them from pirates, bro. So if I send a message to someone who has the device, how does that work? Good question, Blake. You cannot send a direct message to someone who has an HG device unless they have initiated conversation, as there is no number to identify the user with. This means you can reply to emails and texts, but not initiate a voice or video call. You also cannot see messages sent from the NHG device if you log into the same account on an external device. Hold up. What? This means you can reply to emails, but not initiate a voice or video call. You also cannot see messages sent from an HG device if you log them into the same account on an external device. Oh, okay. So you can't see them if you log into the same account on another. Okay, I got it. Exempli gratia. Chris, if I sent you an email from the HG device and you open the email from your home computer, you would then only be able to access the message on the said home computer. You would not be able to view it if you logged onto your email account from another device, such as your phone or work computer. Understand? Blake and Chris bob their heads in unison again. When you use the HG device, you create a new, untraceable path for your message. So if you send a message to someone from the HG, the recipient will see it and be able to retain it. However, it won't show who it is from. Keeping a record will deem the message unsecure, because if the recipient's device falls into a third party's hands, they can retrieve the information. He's really over-explaining a VPN. Additionally, due to the state-of-the-art software embedded into the message, you cannot forward, copy, or print screen on any of the content received. So it's basically like an encrypted message. You can only access it from a certain device, and once you access it from that certain device, you cannot see it on any other device. I get it, man! The HG device user can alternatively choose an expiration date for the message to disappear from the recipient's device, or even when the recipient navigates away from the opened message. Essentially, a self-destruct button, if you will. You'll both be given a prototype version to work and familiarize yourselves with. I ask that they remain within the premises of you and you store them inside your lockers. Once the meeting had adjourned, Jonathan caught Blake's attention before he could leave the room. What did you think? It was great. I'm excited to work on this project, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And what are your impressions of the new project colleague, Chris? New work colleague, Chris. He seems a little odd. Don't worry, he's a good man. Store them in your ass cheeks. Stupid automod. I literally say you can swear. There's certain words that you can't say in chat, and I put them in there, but for some reason it does not. I don't know. It's stupid. Don't worry, he's a good man. I think you two will work very well together. A few hours flew by like nothing. Blake swore he felt the vibrations from the floor up through his chair as his footsteps came closer to his desk. Just as Chris approached, a loud sneeze trumpeted from behind Blake's computer. The gentle giant's attention adverted to Max. Achoo! Let's see, Max. 156. What are you on about? Orlo always piped up whenever Max said something. It was like he had a mutual agreement that they were a duo. Chris stood motionless and bewildered. A wise man once told me to count my blessings. An expression of smugness took over Max's face. In her mind, she saw her audience erupt into laughter. Back into reality, there was a mental facepalm and weak chuckle from the surrounding desks apart from Chris, who still looked baffled by the whole encounter. Damn, can't believe the bot doesn't like ass assembly. Doesn't like ass at all. I'm an ass guy. I like ass. It's not that came. Don't take that out of context. He was unfamiliar with this part of the office. He rarely had a reason to be there. I think you dropped this in the meeting room. I love the voice I chose for Chris. I can't stop laughing. The bass of the giant's voice reverberated. Yeah, the bass. The bass is. Oh, you dropped this in the room. He's on roids. There's no fucking way his voice is. Ugh. What do you think? Should I try to go deeper? I'll try to go deeper. Such an awkward, unnatural looking smile. It must be forced. The fuck is? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Must be forced. What the fuck is up with my keyboard? Here we go. Still, Jonathan wanted him to give Chris the benefit of the doubt. Thanks. Blake gave him a friendly smile and nod. Chris stayed put, lingering momentarily as if unsure about something. Then took his leave. Max watched in awe as the Gigantor trudged back to the second floor. How did he know my name? Geez, the size of that man! He could probably rip your head clean off your shoulders if he wanted to. And I bet he's an absolute beast in the bedroom. Orlo. His pee-pee is probably this big. That's why his arms are this big. Because his pee-pee is this big. His pee-pee is this big. Erect. It's this big erect. That's probably why he's so fucking giant. He playfully wiggled his eyebrows at Max. Shh, knock it off, Orlo. Maybe we should invite him out to drinks tonight, seeing as it's Friday and we hardly know the guy. Could be an interesting man underneath all that beefy muscle. If you carry on talking about him and he's a piece of meat, I'm gonna start some beef with you. Ooh, you gonna slap some roast beef? As if you would. We all know that you're a coward. Did you just call her fat, bro? Look at her. Literally eat a dick. Come on, then. Let me show you what you got. Make your move. Oh god, they were back on the puns. Terrible ones at that. Although it could be distracting on occasions, Blake enjoyed the breaks from figures and processes. He was grateful to be around friendly colleagues in his work life. They were almost like a family to him in a strange way. Okay, I got it, Orlo. You're horny. Come on, come here, and I'm gonna bonk your ass. Gonna bonk your ass with my beef hammer. Enough with this bullshit. Blake, you in for drinks on Saucy Mamas tonight too? Sure. Yeah, go on then. I'll come along. He decided it would be a good idea to get out for the night and maybe take some to get to know his colleagues a little better. Saucy Mama's is primarily a burger joint which served as a cafe by day and transformed into a bar by night. Famous for their pie screams? What? Chalk-tails and energetic, skimpy outfitted cookies. What do you mean a skimpy outfitted cookie? Are my waiters literally cookies that look like whores? What does that mean? A slut cookie? A slutty cookie. What is a pie scream? Cookies was just another term they used for the chiseled model-like servers. Okay, so yeah, it's a slutty cookie. They were a mixture of humans and droids. Each had been chosen to work there due to the unnatural perfection. For somewhere that sounded hectic, it had laid-back atmosphere. Maybe this was because everyone was hypnotized by the Barry-esque shows. Are we gonna be seeing some like fucking horny bar shit? It's a horny bar. Blake had a couple of drinks and enjoyed the chatter amongst the group. Who would you like to get to know? Well, let me tell you something. I'm between these two. This bitch looks fake as fuck. I kind of like this chick because I like Max because she's a nerd. I'm a nerd. And she's also really pretty. I'm gonna choose Max. We're gonna choose Max. Pink shithead, let's go. Sure, let's chat. Orlo's gone to get some more drinks. What do you think of Orlo? He's okay, I guess. I'm kidding. He's my gaming buddy, ride or die. An excellent wingman. He came across a little guarded at first, but get to know him and he's very charming. He seems to have a way of talking you into things. Sometimes it's like you don't even get a choice. You and Orlo aren't an item? An item? Oh no, he's like a brother to me. Okay. So you're available, is what you're saying. What's your favorite game? I love Ultra Salt. Me and Orlo always get involved in the annual tournament, and without it, I probably wouldn't get any exercise. I also love narrative choice games, but it's all so annoying when they give you a choice of what to say and the character says something completely different. Ultra ass alt. Yeah. What do you think of Lee? I think he's adorkable. Sweet guy. What do you think of Chris? Chris seems friendly, a bit stoic, but harmless from what I can tell. Don't really know him though because he works on a different floor. What do you think of Jonathan? He seems like a good, fair CEO. I've certainly had worse bosses. What do you think of Harry? I don't know her that well. We hang out in different circles, but she seems very positive and happy. How long have you been at ICC? I've been working there nearly 2 years now. Arler started not long after me. The time has whizzed by. Bye. Good chat. Okay. I guess we'll do this. Hi! What do you think of Orlo? He's fun. What do you think of Max? Max is really funny. What do you think of Lee? He's the quiet one, isn't he? I always see him at the reception talking to Andy. What do you think of Chris? She shrugged. I haven't met him before. What do you think of Jonathan? I don't really know him. Don't you have monthly meetings with him? No, I have monthly meetings with my manager. Oh, okay. Okay. How long have you been working at ICC? Just a couple months. What do you like doing outside of work? I love going camping and spending time with my besties, and I love the movies. I'm hoping to save up to move to Hollywood and become an actress one day. Nice. Bye. She wasn't very chatty today, more like she was focused on her surroundings. Meetings, what kind of meetings? Well, work meetings, of course. What are you talking about? Work meetings, bro. You have to keep it professional. Keeping it professional. Let's hang out again soon. All right, let's talk to Lee. Now we got the Shaggy voice. Hey, Blake, let's chat. What do you think of Chris? He seems like a friendly enough, but I don't know the guy. I mostly talk to Andy when I'm not too busy with my work. What do you think of Andy? Andy is such a cool and friendly dude. I feel like I can talk to him about anything. What do you think of Orlo? He's fun. Maybe a little loud at times. I play games with him and Max occasionally, and it's a laugh. They usually chat away. I'm more of a listener. What do you think of Harry? I haven't spoken to her much, so not much really to say, really. What do you think of Max? She's nice. I like playing games with her and Orlo. Lee went quiet, his face flushed with a soft pink. Sounds like somebody's got a crush on Max. What do you do outside of work? When I'm not getting into running to clear my head, it helps. Have you also tried meditation? Have you tried meditating too? That can help you gain focus. I've tried it a bit, but I didn't give it a proper go. I will now though. Thanks for the recommendation. Bye. Thanks for the chat. Alright. Hey Blake, Max has gone for some fresh air. Let's chat. What do you think of Max? Max is a sweetie. I love her. You're in love with Max? Orlo smiled and raised his eyebrows. Not like that. She's my little Max. Don't say that fucking shit. Holy goddamn fuck. Little Max, just shh. Don't say weird ass fucking shit, bro. What do you think of Lee? He seems like a genuine person, but very elusive. Now and then he'll play games online with me and Max, but he doesn't say much outside of the game tactics. What do you think of Harry? Not sure about that one. How come? Orlo leaned closer to Blake, quickly glancing to make sure she wasn't in earshot. Well, she doesn't have an imagination account. Does that matter? I'm not saying she has to have one, but it doesn't fit her profile. It begs the question, why isn't she wasting her time here taking pictures of us, her food, her drinks, and uploading them to ImageNation? I don't have an ImageNation account either. Yes, but that's very much the dark and mysterious Blake, not Harry. Orlo, the uncle incident. What do you think of Jonathan? Busy man, but has time for anyone that asks, which is nice. No complaints. What do you think of Chris? He works on a different floor, so never met him before. I'll let you know once I get to know him, winky face. How long have you been at ICC? I started not long after Max did. Bye. It's been good talking to you. Alright. Chris wasn't contributing much to the conversations at the table, mostly smiling and nodding because he hates his voice. Hey Chris, what do you think of Jonathan? He's a very decent man. What do you think of Max and Orlo? They seem nice. What do you think of Lee? I'm gonna try a different voice. He seems kind. What do you think of Harry? She seems happy. I don't like it. I like the high voice. You don't say much, do you? No. Chris smiles through the pain of his tiny peepee. Those eyebrows, though, bro. Eyebrows. Trim eyebrows. Trim. Take some scissors and trim the eyebrows, man. How long have you been working at ICC? 4 years. My voice actually cracked. What do you like to do outside of work? So, what do you... Oh, that's me. So, what do you like doing outside of work? I love taking Mar for long walks. He's my dog. I love dogs. That's it. Make him bald. Bye. Blake finished talking to everyone. Finally, back home, Blake trudged in. Now tired and a bit peckish, he rubbed his stomach and sat down on the couch. He would make a great monk. Yeah, he doesn't fucking talk at all. E-screen on. The E-screen came to life. He set the news stream to play when it turned on as it filled the silence before looking for something to watch. Alright. Reporter voice. Kill VR, the controversial killer who hunts down dangerous convicts and records the murders through their bionic eyes, is the focal point in the upcoming documentary, Kill VR in the Eyes of a Killer. Promising never-before-seen ultra-shocking VR footage, including their very first kill, from Kill VR's own eyes, the one that started it all. Blake checked his phone idly. One new voicemail. Since when did anyone use voicemail? Good evening, Blake. How about going for that lunch I mentioned tomorrow at Saucy Mama's? I'll have my car and come pick you up at noon. What lunch was he talking about? Their meeting came flashing back. He'd zone out from the conversation due to a headache. Bruh, this is SAO. What does SAO mean? I'm out of the Urban Dictionary shit. Does he kill people when they go in VR? Oh yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It sounds like that might be Sword Art Online. Oh, okay. Their meeting came. Oh yeah. Why on earth would Jonathan want to hang out with him outside of work hours? He hated himself a little more for missing something so important. The light from the E-screen glared at Blake. The news channel illuminated the room as it flashed from one scene to the next. As usual, he had nodded off with the E-screen chanting in the background. The thick, dark curtains were drawn, blocking out any ounce of light that would have allowed one to speculate. The time of day. But that's the way he preferred it. The time blinked in blue light. Hold on. Okay. The time blinked in blue light from the side of his bed. 11:11 a.m. Overslept again. Gone were the days when he used to spring out of bed at 8 a.m. or even earlier. The sound from the E-screen was muffled, rummaging around. He retrieved the remote from underneath him and instantly reaped the rewards of comfort. Level 3 on the sound. It was too quiet to hear. He must have fallen asleep on it. Turning the volume, he could now hear the newsreader breathlessly reporting the story of a theft at the Owl Sanctuary just hours ago. Police believe the Parliament of Owls was stolen in the middle of the night at 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. However, no witnesses have come forward as of yet. If anyone has any information on this, please contact the local number for Newstone Police Department, quoting reference 282820. Who would commit such a horrible, heartless act? Blake checked himself. He thought that Not only was she reporting the news, but offering her own opinion on it. He missed the days when the news consisted of facts rather than including speculation and emotion. He conceded that he had to agree with her on this occasion, but who would commit such a heinous crime? Gathering his senses, movement from above caught his eye. Something was in the shadows all around him. 14 spherical objects were reflecting the image from the news. The objects disappeared and reappeared at different intervals. The hooting noise on the E-screen made him jump. Wait, no, that wasn't on the E-screen. Oh, it was me! It was me! Blake, you stole the owls? What the fuck, man? Oh, wait. I think Blake is high. How the fuck did they get here? Was someone pulling a prank? He quickly checked the flat to make sure that there were no uninvited guests, apart from the owls. What was he going to do? How could he make this right? Ring! It was his phone. Jonathan's car was here to pick him up. Oh, fuck! 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 He rushed around getting ready. The owl problem would have to wait a little longer. Jonathan was already sitting at a table waiting for Blake. Thank you for joining me on your day off. Blake smiled and sat down. I also steal owls in my sleep. It's just a regular thing, dude. Everyone does it. It's a very common thing. You know, just fucking wake up in the middle of the night and you go to an owl sanctuary, even if you don't live near one, and you fucking steal owls and put them in your house. That's the same, that's a very common thing that happens to everyone. Blake smiled and sat down. I invited you because we have something important to discuss. Something I should have made you aware of earlier, but I just hadn't found the right time. Jonathan exuded a film noir aesthetic, but of course, no one but him even knew what that was. For the man who was the face of the future, he loved to live in the past. Oh! Hello! This is Hooters. I just realized that this is basically Hooters. This is literally Hooters. The server appeared and Jonathan bided his time. Put our order on my tab. It's Mr. Gourdain. I'll have the bottle of Bluebeard. Make that too. Blake thought about the owl problem back at home, and now he felt stuck whilst the situation was getting worse. 2 blue beds coming up. The server prodded her tablet before sauntering off. Jonathan looked curious, like he was scrutinizing a puzzle for its solution. What is it? You're troubled. Might I help? Might I be able to help you? Fake booba. Such fake boobs. They're probably implants. Blake shot a furtive glance around the restaurant, satisfied that there were no eavesdroppers present. He continued in a lowered voice. I don't think Blake did it. I don't think Blake did. I think someone broke into my flat last night. Oh my, what happened? Did they take anything? With such a baffling addition to the flat, Blake hadn't thought to check if anything else had gone missing. No, but... Boop! Here's the drinks! I respect all boobas, but I'm against fake boobas. Blake knocked back a large swig of Bluebeard and weighed up his options. He was in 2 minds, but he had no choice. He had to tell Jonathan. Tell Jonathan about the owls. Okay, I admit, this is going to sound absolutely crazy, and you probably won't believe me. And I'm probably going to lose my job here, but there are owls in my flat. Stolen owls that I didn't put there. Please don't fire me. Jonathan seemed cool and collected. Are you saying someone stole some owls and placed them in your flat in the middle of the night whilst you were sleeping? Somehow. I have no idea how, but yes. Jonathan leaned back and thought and took a deep inhalation. This reminded him of smoking e-pipe. He enjoyed ancient relics from an era that had been lost to an affliction of time. Out of his collection, he especially admired the antiquated pipe he had acquired from a stall at the opposite side of the city, and had his e-pipe especially redesigned to replicate the antique one. All I know is this: I woke up to the news channel showing a story about some stolen owls. Moments later, I find those missing owls staring down at me from my curtain rail, my shelves, my bed frame, everywhere. Pretty much on top of whatever they could put on in my room. I definitely didn't put them there. I know that for certain, and I have no idea who did it. Wait, you did do that test thingy about being scared of being framed. That's what I was just thinking. That's why I'm thinking, like, I don't think Blake did it. I think someone's trying to frame him. I don't know who. Or how they broke into my flat, or how they could even get them there without me noticing. Beep. One new message. The owl and the wood mouse ran away. In an elegant pumpkin carriage, they journeyed wide and far under the stars. Oh, what a beautiful marriage. Someone is having a joke. What is it? He read the text aloud. The owl and the wood mouse? What's that? It's an old poem about two unlikely species, the owl and the wood mouse, hunter and prey, who want to be together, but it's not seen as acceptable in the forest, so they run away to live together in harmony. Oh no, every single thing you did on the test is gonna come true. Someone at ICC is fucking with me. This is supposed to not be, I know it's not supposed to be anonymous, but you know something? I'm not supposed to get harassed by it. That's bullshit. Bullshit. It's a love story. Jonathan rubbed his gray stubble. And now this becomes all so very interesting. You have a message from the culprit, so I think it's safe for us to deduce that this wasn't the act of a drunken you. Possibly a harmless, albeit reckless prank. An overall zealous admirer. A jilted ex-lover, perhaps? It's just a prank, bro. You're in the distance. I doubt it would be my ex, Stacy. She wouldn't do something like this, and she lives in a different city now anyway. Jonathan looked inspired, eyes lit up with wonder and determination. He'd gone into full detective mode. I am intrigued to see where this will lead us. Us? Yes. You need to analyze the crime scene for clues, and if it's not too much bother, I'd be elated to join you. I'd be elated? I guess that's a word. Before Blake could interject, Jonathan continued. Let's head to your apartment and see if we can find any clues. We need to ensure the owls are in good health, and then we'll have them returned home safely. They headed outside into the bitter cold. Jonathan took a breath of e-pipe. He blew out a mixture of Earl Grey, scented smoke, and cold air, which formed a cloud that enveloped him. Why Jonathan had wanted to meet at Saucy Mama's in the first place was still a question at the back of Blake's mind, but it would have to stay there for now. I swear my keycard was in here. I'll have to use my phone pass instead. Search for clues. On the floor was a tablet pen. I believe Blake's window was open and Blake vaguely recognized this from somewhere and took a closer look. The tablet pen was a bright shade of pink with an aggressively chewed end. Blake didn't have a tendency to eat pens. It was an efficient way of getting unwanted germs, and he certainly wouldn't want to use that one unless one that someone else's mouth had been intimate with. Yuck! Someone's chewed this pen. This might be a clue for who was last in possession of this pen. The word Max Hacks was in big turquoise letters down the side. Max Hats. Let's check What's It. Jonathan opened the What's It app and took a picture of the lettering. First match here is an Image Nation account belonging to our very own Max. It showcases her some of her hacking knowledge, but it's mainly screenshots of her gaming on her Nudge stream. It's things like this that eternally baffle me. Call me an old fuddy-duddy, but when someone is busy streaming what they're doing, who's left to watch? Blake had no idea what fuddy-duddy meant. I noticed Jonathan had a tendency to use a large number of outdated words. However, that is beside the point. How did it get here in your apartment? I honestly do not know. There was a piece of material stuck to the nib of the pen. There's a small piece of silk material on the end here. This is all very intriguing. Search for clues. Well, there's my key card. That's a strange place for it to be, though. I always keep it in my wallet. Blake took out his wallet and inspected it. Huh? Someone has ripped a hole in the bottom of my card holder. Does anyone have access to your key card apart from you? Jonathan was a Zoomer once. Probably. That would make sense with his old outdated fucking words. Not normally, but I dropped it in the meeting room the other day. Chris found it and returned it to me. This never happened before. Interesting. Have you left your wallet anywhere unattended recently? Not that I recall. Why would someone cut a hole in your wallet to get the key card instead of just taking it? To get access to the key card without looking suspicious. Wait till he says PogChamp. To get access to the key card without looking suspicious. To make someone else look suspicious. I'm not sure how this would add up with any of these, honestly. I don't want to say no idea, so it's got to be one of these two. To get access to the keycard without looking suspicious, to make someone else look suspicious. I mean, they're kind of saying the same thing. This is most likely the answer. There would be no reason to cut a hole in your wallet to gain access to your keycard. Someone wanted your keycard to drop so someone else would pick it up and alert you to the fact it wasn't secure. What this means is, someone might have had access to your apartment since before Friday. This all sounds a little complicated and far-fetched. It does, and all the more intriguing. Search for clues. Well, this is the beer I had before I went to bed. Nothing weird about that. On the contrary, Blake, you said you don't remember hearing anything all night, yes? Correct. Is there a chance someone could have tampered with your drink? That could explain why I slept in so late. Blake looked startled and horrified, then gave the drink a sniff. You wouldn't necessarily smell or taste it, but let's move on for now. Hold on a minute. You just said that I might have been drugged. There is no way to test it in the right here and now, but we will get to that. We need to rule out every possibility out. It looks like the material from the nib of this pen is from my wallet, so someone used the pen to rip a hole in it. Whoever had access to the pen and your wallet is our prime suspect right now. What does this all mean? I don't know, but something isn't right. I believe there's more to this than we initially thought. So you suspect foul play? Precisely. The next thing we can do is advance our investigation is to check the building's CCTV. But first, let's get these owls back home. Jonathan took out a familiar-looking device. You have an HG device with you? Oh yes. This isn't a prototype version, though. Jonathan started to message someone, and Blake thought back to the owl and the wood mouse that he'd received. The message had no sender. Claude should be here very soon to pick up the owls. Who's Claude? He's a friend that works at the NSPD. I think it's Chris. I'm starting to think that it's possibly Chris because he also got a prototype. So it's either Jonathan or Chris right now. And Jonathan, I don't know. It could be Jonathan because he seems like he's being a little too helpful for being a CEO. He's a friend that works at the NSPD. Wait, what? You informed a police officer? A detective. And this detective will help me? Are you sure we can trust him? And this detective will help me? Yes. He won't tell anyone. He's my personal contact in case of emergencies. So you're saying you can just do what you want and he'll say you're an anonymous tipper. Ah, shit. Shit. Well, I can't do anything I want. That wouldn't be responsible. Buddy's always there to assist if I need a favor. Jonathan's voice softened a little. In the meantime, whilst we wait, we should sit down and talk. I still have something very pressing I need to discuss, and here is probably the best place to do that. Blake was intrigued and half expected John to swipe his hand across the air for magically reveal his pressing agenda. Go on. Firstly, I want to say that although the circumstances here with your owl situation are a little odd, to say the least, I'm enjoying spending some time with you, helping you. Jonathan was searching for the right words to continue. I'd like to direct this conversation to your past. More importantly, that you had a change in guardianship at a young age. It seemed an odd direction for the conversation, but it took a lot to face him. You mean when I was adopted? Yes. You see, the thing is, Blake, there's no easy way for me to say this, but Jonathan looked down at the ground momentarily. I am your biological father. What? What? It makes sense. He looks like Blake. He looks exactly like Blake. Now I see it now. What a fucking poof. Really? The deafening silence swept across the room as the both let the information sink in. Blake was clearly confused. It was a reaction that Jonathan had anticipated. This simmered in the moment. Jonathan patiently waited whilst deep in thought about how to continue the conversation. How could you hire me and not say anything? Why didn't you tell me? Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me about this now? I know you must be feeling thunderstruck by this news. I can understand that. But here, take this. It contains all the documents in it. They're yours now, and it's all the information you need. As much as you would prefer to be handing over a brown envelope with string and washer, the mini flash drive would have to do. The small object was encompassed in the palm of his hand. Jonathan's expression started to soften as he handed it over. Blake studied the back of Jonathan's wrinkled hand as he held it out. The snaking veins reminded him of a valley of winding rivers. Jonathan began an attempt to explain more. Hold up. 1 second. Jonathan began an attempt to explain more, but it was interrupted by the doorbell. We'll discuss this later, I promise. Blake opened the door and in walked Claude. He nodded at Blake. His eyes scanned the room. Then his attention quickly went to Jonathan. What you doing? What? Whatcha? Watcha. So where's the mess then? Thank you so much for coming, Claude. Blake, do you mind if I take him to see the owls? Jonathan pointed to ask which way Blake's bedroom was. Sure, go ahead. It's just down there to the right. Once they left the room, Blake sat back and thought about what Jonathan had just told him and toyed with the flash drive between his fingers. He grabbed his computer and slotted the flash drive in. Scrutinizing the documents, there was a birth certificate, same birthday as the one he celebrated, adoption documents, and a family picture. A smiling 6-year-old Blake, his mom, and a proud-looking 30-something-year-old Jonathan. Blake had vague memories of his parents, but it was mostly a blur. Jonathan had felt familiar when they had first met, but thinking back, the man seemed different now than what he remembered. Time and success had most likely aged and shaped him into the person he'd become, and they said that they had over 2 decades to catch up on. This all looks legit. Blake Gourdain. Wow. That's going to take some getting used to. But why don't I remember this clearly? Right. I'm going to need to transport the owls somewhere secure and release them into an area where they can't escape. Then I can call it an anonymous tip-off. That way no evidence will be found. You can use the abandoned computer store. ICC procured the building, and the renovation isn't due till commerce until next month. So there's no CCTV, and you can use a side street for discretion. There's a normal half-assed precipitation going on outside as Blake checked out the sliding balcony doors. He imagined it would work in their favor for keeping the streets quiet. They transferred the owls to the back of the police van concealed inside multiple cardboard boxes. It was an arduous task done to ensure that none of the owls were harmed in the process. Again, my utmost appreciation for your assistance with this, Claude. Please let me know when it's all done. Claude tipped his hat at Jonathan, gave another nod to Blake before leaving. Jonathan noticed the family picture on Blake's computer screen and smiled. I'm very fond of that picture. The smile faded and a glint of sadness showed in his eyes. Jonathan cleared his throat and knew that Blake would also need some time for the news to sink in. Let's go back to the owl situation and how this could have happened. Let's analyze the evidence we have. Is there anything prominent that sticks out here? It seemed a meticulous and investigative nature ran in their blood. Blake took a moment to choose his words carefully. It was you, wasn't it? You had the HG device on you, and the text I got didn't have a sender. It was you, wasn't it? I wish I could say this is my doing for fun just to put your detective skills to the test. I may seem a little eccentric, and this does seem very carefully thought out, but alas, it wasn't me. Whoever it was, they have put a lot of thought into this. For now, you will have to take my word for it. There's another way I may be able to help you shed some light on the culprit. I'll pick you up tomorrow and we'll check your apartment security footage. Try to get some rest. Blake had a moment to take in his surroundings and let out a big breath. He decided to go survey the damage in the bedroom. Feathers were everywhere and bird shit was just like he had predicted. He clicked on the news channel and started to scrub. It was more difficult to clean than anticipated. Nothing on the news about the owls yet, but it was too soon. He'd have to bag up these feathers tight, or maybe make a pillow out of them. Room cleaned, he could finally rest. Open eyes. Blake felt the cold air on his face as he opened his eyes. He stepped back from the ledge. Blake woke up. The next morning felt nice and calm in Blake's apartment. Just how he liked it. A new day, no concerns. If anyone has information on Sam Smith's whereabouts, we urge you to come forward and please contact the Hive team. The news finally switched to what he had been waiting for. And some good news today. At 8 a.m. this morning, all 7 of the missing owls were delivered back to the new Stone Owl Sanctuary after a detective located them at a local closed-down store. Although there is no evidence to suggest who committed this crime, we can confirm that no harm came to the owls and they are very happy to be home. Some good news for once. The clip of the reporter outside the building cut to a montage of cute owls, accompanied by a silky-voiced male narrator telling his audience which owls are close buddies and how they'd like to spend their spare time. The report finished up with a request for donations. It was clear this owl sanctuary was making the most of this opportunity to promote. Ring! Hey Blake, get down here pronto. We've got something investigating to do. Where are we going? You'll see. Jonathan was driving manually and concentrating on what he was doing. Blake didn't understand why I didn't just use autopilot, but chalked it up to being another one of his anachronistic eccentricities. God damn, what's with the big words, man? Blake made a bet with himself that Jonathan probably still drank water from the tap, too. They traveled outside the business district to east part of the Newstone. Around here they call it Newston. Large, opulent houses, lavishly decorated and possessing the newest of technical gadgetry. Gardens exhibited the finest topiary and exotic plants. This part of town was heavily surveilled and by private security firms and personal bodyguards. Only top businessmen, the richest celebrities, and high rollers lived here. Jonathan had an assault course on security systems to override to gain access to his house. The spacious living room was white and black with a minimalistic style, exceptionally tidy due to the hired cleaner who had visited every couple of days. An open-plan kitchen joined at the far back of the room. Gray, silver, black, white, and no colors to be seen anywhere. Only one room in the house possessed a slightly whiter color palette, and that was Jonathan's work-at-home office. The circular archaic bookcase, the odd contraptions of the book cabinet of wonders, and some sort of leafless tree-type sculpture thing lurked in the corner of the room. It was just how Blake had imagined. It's just in here. You have books? They stopped at the bookcase. Blake chuckled and scanned the titles. They didn't look neat. Every book was a different height and width. Each one had a different colored sleeve. This is a concept I learned from a forgotten era. Jonathan couldn't help but let slip a smirk. He clutched a book by its spine and tilted it towards him. The book released a faintly audible click. Jonathan gave Blake a wink as the bookshelf moved to the side, revealing a hidden door. Down in the clandestine room, he housed two computers and other technical instruments that Blake had never seen before. Take a seat. The two machines were on standby mode, so there was no waiting around for them to load up. What is this place? And where did you get all these things from? This is where I keep my inventions, prototypes, and backup equipment. I always thought it would be useful to hold on to some items as they could be put to some good use. First things first. Jonathan poured some of the liquid from the beer bottle into a container and clicked it into a machine. Then was busy tapping away at his phone. This little invention can tell you the information about ingredients and the breakdown of nutrients, as well as read calories. It also works with materials. My, the reader says this liquid contains hypnorol. I wonder why I didn't hear anything. Someone drugged me? But how? Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm checking on something that's happening on my laptop over there. Okay. I don't want to alarm you, but I would guess that you have a beer most Fridays, so they were counting on an observed habit. Observed? It is a possibility. Let's check the security cam for your apartment. Hopefully we'll be able to see who was there. It might shed some light on everything. If I've calculated this correctly, this one should be the camera I spotted on the wall opposite your door. Here we are. It's locked. Nothing I can't handle. Jonathan smirked and opened a drawer underneath the desk. He took out a small handheld rectangular machine which had no definable markings on it. I'll call her Maxine. He connected the device to the laptop, clicked a few buttons, and the device started to make a whirring noise. Beep. This is why you need to get out more. But then where would you be without this old man's kooky devices? Now, we just need to choose the date, 23rd of March, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the one. They watched the footage and both began to look concerned. Nothing? How could there be no movement at all evening? Jonathan checked the recordings from the previous days leading up to the owl theft, and still nothing. It looks like someone has tampered with the footage somehow. This isn't the original. Can we get the original? It depends, but either way, it's beyond my capabilities. We need help. We know Max is a hacker. She may be able to assist. Leah's another whose knowledge goes way beyond my own. They could be an option should you choose to delve deeper. Someone has gone to a lot of trouble to cover up who they are. For now, I don't think we are going to find an answer. Try your best not to worry. Go get some rest. Maybe give it a few days and we can ask Max or Lee if they can help us. He gave Blake a reassuring squeeze on the shoulder. Alright, one more moment. Alright, be right back. I'm just gonna go grab a drink really quick and I'll be right back, guys. Hold up 1 second. Hey Flamin', how's it going, bro? Bring back the chair. Bring back my chair. Well, I know. I know my chair is prettier than I am, so, but lick my balls. I don't care. In case you're wondering, this is not soda. This is in fact grape water. All right, let's continue here. Word had already spread around the office that Blake could be Jonathan's long-lost son. No one had the stones to ask Blake about the gossip. They were all treading lightly around the subject, but Blake sensed the chatter. The owl incident and the poem felt like a strange and distant memory. Looking up from his daydream, Blake noticed Chris was standing by him, just staring. How long had he been there? How did he not feel the quiver of the building's structure as Chris got over? Blake felt a shudder down his spine. How's it going? I have some analytics for you to run through when you get the moment. Mr. Gourdain said he is keen on getting the ball rolling. Chris handed over the copy with care as if it were made on thin glass. More paper. The paper was as crinkled as the crumpled veins of laziness on Chris's shirt. Blake considered derisively. I can't talk. Thanks. Mr. Gourdain, well, the other Mr. Gourdain. Wait, no. Not that I meant there's two. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. People said that Jonathan's your... Chris stopped rambling. He took worried and panicked as he realized he'd slipped up. The secret was out. Brush it off. It's okay, don't worry. I know there's a rumor going around right now. Jonathan also just suggested you and I get together outside work and go through our project. So do you mind if I come over to yours? Great! I could bring Marv, my dog, with me too. Sounds great to me. Tonight it is. Okay then. Blake pulled a perplexed face at Chris's mountainous frame, hobbled off, and he wondered whether Chris has always been a Hulk or had he just really gotten to weightlifting. How many hours a day would you have to lift weights to achieve that? Probably at least 10. I can't wait for Ultra Assault. I'm going to win a medal this year. I can feel it. Can you just imagine how amazing that would be? You're going to be eating my dust at the Red Dragon, of course, just like last year. I won't, because you're a lizard butt. Oh, come on there, not with a punchline. You'll be the one who's dragging behind. Oh, no! No puns, Max! No! No puns on the stream. You're fucking banned, Max. No puns. No puns. If you fucking make a pun, you're gone. This is your warning. Stop making puns. Stop. Stop it. We're adults. Puns don't make adults. Adults don't make puns. No, just no. Are you planning on taking part this year, Blake? I always have the best intentions to. I enjoy the events and everything in Ultra Assault Month, but tend to lose track of what's going on. I don't think my character has ever been higher than level 10, so I prefer watching the live finals rather than taking part. You could always come in to some classes with me and Orlo. Orlo had already zoned out and gone back to his work at this point. No reaction or look upwards at the sound of his name. Excuse me. Lee, however, looked to be listening intently as though he wanted to say something. As in they have dedicated workout classes for this game? Yeah, it's nice. Everyone gets together to increase their levels and it gives it a proper community vibe rather than seeing each other as just opponents. How about you, Lee? Do you play? Me? Oh yeah, I will be playing this year. I came fourth 2 years ago. No way. Seriously? Lee nodded shyly, then he tapped his touchboard and brought an image up of him with his medal. That's totally then. Orlo peered up from behind his computer screen. Not a real word. I'm talking to an Ultra Soul finalist? Max stood up, took out the touchboard for a closer look, and shrieked in delight. The loud noise brought Orlo back into the conversation. Pretty cool. Oh, thanks, guys. How did you manage it? I mean, I bet you trained like every day, right? Yeah, of course. I'm more long distance and speed training, so I went to Ultra Assault bonus running groups. I leveled up my character's speed and agility enough to be in the live finals for the desert course within 12 days. What? So mega. I made sure I practiced on the game's demo courses, so I knew what kind of obstacles my fair character would face. It was good fun. I see you have the Ultra X1 training watch. Ah, just so Vin. I don't even know what the fuck Vin means. Still not a real word. I agree with Orlo. Yeah, I know Ultra Assault Month is a few weeks away, but I wanted to get the grips on it with the fucking shit. With it before this year's competition. It gives you better updates on leveling your character, and you can add what exercise suits you and more accurate reminders of how much exercise you need to do. My Ultra V4 still does this trick for me. Don't hit the player. Conversation died down and everyone back to their desks. Blake noticed a tablet pen left up behind on his desk, a pink pen with a chewed end, just like the one at his apartment. Hey, anyone left their pen here? Ah, that's mine. Orlo! Bruh, Why were you in my apartment, and why did you steal owls and put them in my apartment, bro? What did you do that for, bro? Why did you do that, you piece of shit? Why did you fucking do it, you piece of goddamn shit? I hate you, Orlo, you fucking uncle bitch. How many times have I told you to stop chewing the ends of those, Orlo? You'll get a shock doing that. I'll be fine. You got a minute? Come in, come in. One hand gestured for Blake to come into the room whilst the other was pushing paper to the side of his desk. He was happy to see Blake. How's it going? Have you heard anything from our mystery owl thief? Nothing so far, but Olo left his pen on my desk. It's the same pen that we found in my apartment. I see. Well, we still need further proof before we can assume it was him. I think it's time we involve one of your colleagues in assisting us by hacking into the CCTV camera tonight. Considering you know them much better than I do, it would be rather less intimidating. It might be best you invite them. Who would you like to invite? Max. We're inviting Max. 100%. Perfect. Let me know if Max agrees to help with us. I've been meaning to ask, how have you been doing in general? I'm fine, but I could do with a pay raise. I'm sure you'll unlock one soon if you've met all of your targets. Wow, Dad. Fuck you. So me and Jonathan want to check the CCTV at my apartment and wondered if you might be able to help us at all. Depends on why you need to check the CCTV. I had a break-in at my apartment. Jonathan's helping me look into it. Oh man, in that case, of course I'll help you. So how'd it go? Max is happy to help us. Great. My car will be, we'll pick you both up around 2000 2,000 hours, I don't know. Blake headed through the main lobby at the end of his working day. Well, afternoon, Blake. Andy had the most endearing smile and temperament. His nose and eyes crinkled as he flashed his hand in a welcoming gesture. Everyone thought Andy was an awesome guy. He knew all the staff members' names and the little details about them, but every now and then he'd forget small things such as, how's the doggo with the little floof's name again? Ah, yes, of course. And it made him seem more human. His creators had done a great job, as it was a pure droid to be so highly regarded for remembering his staff members, or to be liked by his staff members. Good day? Oh yes, it's been a long one, but we're nearly there. An affable chuckle followed as Andy glanced at the time on the wall. His voice was confident, tone was pleasant, and he'd given him accent that was neither here nor there. Andy rested his elbows on the desk and leaned forwards in a hushed voice. I had something I wanted to ask you. What's up? If you don't mind me asking, Lee is on your floor, so you must see him sometimes, right? He sits near me. Tell me, how's he getting up there? He's getting more confident. His confidence seems to be growing. That's brilliant. Blake, you don't know how glad I am to hear that. Thank you. The door buzzed. Blake wondered what on earth he was doing, but lifted his phone up to the door panel to let Chris into his apartment. He had a fleeting thought where he'd wondered if the dog would be abnormally large, too. The sound of barking unleashed the moment the door opened. Chris had to hunch down to avoid hitting his head on the doorframe. The dog came bounding into the room, his big jaw open with an exciting smile, but luckily the dog was a normal size for a French bulldog. Aww. Come in, have a seat. Chris sat down on the sofa and made it look much smaller than it was. He looked a little uncomfortable. Blake imagined everything was much bigger in his apartment to accommodate. This is Marv. He's very friendly. Stranger! He can talk? Marv sniffed at Blake's leg. Stranger! Not hostile! The dog stated this is in a happy and hyperactive voice, and the collar flashed. Male vocalizer collars are new technology. The device detects brain waves and vocalizes Marv's needs when they are thought to help him to understand him as a being. I see. You can also play a game with him, and if you do, he'll let you pet him as a reward. Play! Sure, I'll play a game. Well, it sounds like fun. If you have to take it in turns, you choose a number, and whoever reaches 33 wins. You can only choose a number that's 1 through 4, numbers higher than the last number that was chosen. So if Mars first chose 1, you can only choose 2, 3, 4, or 5. Let's do this. Retard, try. Who is gonna? Marv. Marv goes first and chooses between 1 and 4. I choose 3. 4. I choose 8. 4 plus this would make it 16, 12. I choose 13. So if I'm at 16, if I'm at 16 right now, if I choose 17, I choose 18. Was that not, did I not do my math right? $19. I choose 23. 25. I choose 28. Fuck. 31. I choose 33. Fuck! I fucked it up. I didn't know that's how it was played. You want to play again? Yes, I want to play again. Okay, I'll try again. You go first. 3. I choose 7. 11. I choose 13. 15. I choose 18. 21. I choose 23. 25. I choose 28. 30. I choose 33. Fuck! Damn it! Marv wins. Yes, I want to play again. I want to win. I need to win. You go first. 3. I choose 7. 10. I choose 13. 16. I choose 18. 22. I choose 23. 27. I choose 28. 29. I choose 30. Fuck! Shit on my dick. Shit on my dick. You go first. I'm choosing 4. 12. 17. 21. 27. Shit on my dick. 29. It's impossible. All right, you go first. 1, 3, 6, 12, 14, 22, 24. This is frustrating. 2, 4, 9, 14, 19, 24. Why? Dick's on a shit sandwich, man. No matter what I do. 4, 9, 14, 19, 24. I need to choose 25. I need to choose 25. I need to stop that. Yes. All right, 1, 6, 11, 16, 22, 25. This is stupid. Why can't I get to fucking 1, 4, 9, 14, 22, 27? It's impossible! No matter what number I choose. Yes, I want to play again. 4, 12, 14, 19, 27. I don't understand this game. This game is really frustrating me. I don't know why. This is what I want. I want to win. I want to win. Yes, you go first. 4. Choose 8. 9. I choose 13. 14. Choose 18. 19. I choose 23. He always does it. There's nothing I can do. All right, hold on. Hold on. 4. 9. 17. 19. I swear, it's broken. I don't understand. Every fucking time, it doesn't matter. See? It doesn't matter. I always end up with the same fucking situation. All right. 1, 4, 9, 14, 19, 24. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Yes. All right. 4, 12, 14. He's choosing 18. 22. He's going to choose 23. Yep. There's nothing I can do, bro. There's nothing I can do. It's fucking fixed. There's got to be a way. 3, 7, 10, 13, 15. Choose 18. $19, 23. It always ends up with him being able to choose 23. It doesn't matter what happens. See? It doesn't fucking matter. This is bullshit. No thanks. No worries, good try. That's bullshit. That's a fucking broken ass game. Do you only have one opportunity to win? Like by having him pick first, maybe? That's the only opportunity? That's the only opportunity. I think he's cheating anyway. I didn't take you as a type of to have a pet. I like the idea of caring and loving for a more dependent species as if it were part of your own family. They do not have the tools to build and create like us, but our bonds are precious. Poop! Blake nearly spat his tea out. What was that? Oh, sorry. It's the Bayo. I should take Marv out to relieve himself before it starts to rain. He doesn't like the rain. After Marv was sorted, Blake and Chris worked on their project for a couple of hours. It was Jonathan's car to pick him up. He nearly forgot. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. I have to get going now. Let's continue this work tomorrow. Tomorrow at work. No problem. I look forward to it. Chris left with Marv. Jonathan's car arrived on the dot to pick up Blake. And Max was already inside the vehicle looking bedazzled by everything. Wow, this place is something else. Jonathan showed off his bookcase trick and Max was awestruck. Look at all these doohickeys. Good word. I'll save that one for later. Jonathan took out a little jot pad and pencil from his pocket and scribbled the word down. Max and Blake looked at each other. Max, I understand that this is a rather unwanted request bringing you here, but would you kindly not mention anything about the clandestine endeavor that we're to any other person, please? Of course, Mr. Gordane, I won't tell a soul. Here's my computer for you to work your magic on. One moment whilst I grant you access to the system. Jonathan flipped through the jot pad again, then entered the password onto his computer. Wow, that's one thin computer. Good thing it isn't like your old, isn't old like your other whatchamacallits. Otherwise, this would have been a challenging task. Max interlocked her fingers and flexed her hands backwards to make them click. Let's do this. Max got to work on the computer. I've never seen anything like it before. Looks like someone has encrypted the data to make it harder to hack. I'm going to need some help with this. Blake, can you take a look and see if you can override the security add-on? I'll give it a shot. It looks like binary code. Blake, can you search for a binary translator on your phone and put in the numbers so we could find out how to log? All right, I got this. I got this. No problem. All right, I got this. Okay, binary translator. Okay, so we have binary to words. Okay, here we go. All right, so 001100110011. Oh wait, oh, shit. 00110010 00110001 01010100 01000001 01000111 00110010. Convert. 321 tag 2. Great, we're in. Nice job. The footage unlocked and started to play. Forward to the evening. All three were closely leaning towards the screen, eager to see what would appear. The footage showed Chris standing outside of Blake's door just after 11 p.m. Huh? This can't be. I knew it was Chris. I knew it was fucking Chris. This can't be. Chris took out his phone and stared down at it. The image went black. What? Someone's wiped the rest of the footage. Both Blake and Jonathan were quiet. So, was that everything you needed? Or... Yes, sorry. This just isn't what we had expected to see. Thank you for your help on this. We both really appreciate it. Thank you again for your assistance here. You've done a fine job. Nick is out front and will take you home safely now. Wait, who's Nick? Oh, sorry, that's the name of my car. You named your car? Well, I've had him for a few years now, and he's very reliable. I suppose I get attached to things that are around for a while. What about me, Dad? What about me? You didn't get attached to me? You named me Blake? But you named your fucking car Nick? What? You named your car Nick, and you fucking abandoned me, you son of a bitch. 321 tag 2. It's got to be a code for something. It's been there, put there on purpose, but a code for what? Maybe a city code? No. A lock somewhere, perhaps. Blake shrugged with no answer to give. Jonathan pointed to the sky in a determined gesture. No matter, we will figure this out in time. So, what do we do about Chris? Well, I can't say I'm too happy with the results. We must tread carefully here. It greatly disappoints me to find Chris has somehow been mixed up with this. I didn't expect it to be him. It isn't. Never settle with the first answer you receive. We cannot presume that the puzzle is complete when we don't know how many pieces there are. I must recall your HG device and postpone the project until further notice whilst this is under our investigation. This is a baneful irony that once I possess Chris's HG device, we will not be able to check the activity due to the secure demeanor of the machinery. I think it would be best if I talk to Chris about what we've just witnessed and find out what he was doing. I agree. Good idea. I'd like to see what he has to say about this. The day had dragged and felt longer than ever. Time to relax. News on, shoes off, couch, non-drugged, blue breed in pans, he hoped. Oh? Adjusting himself slowly towards the screen, Blake felt a pang of horror slither through his veins. On the monitor was a man sitting at a desk, taking notes and staring. No, studying, gibbered Blake's mind. In the top right-hand corner was a small image that's the top left-hand corner. This is top right-hand corner, this is top left. I mean, unless you're talking about the TV's perspective, but that's at the top left. So that's probably something... Can I report something? No. I guess not. Oh, I should save. I should probably save. Yeah, we'll save right there. Alright. Let me, I have to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back in business. Alright, let's do this. What the? The man on the screen couldn't possibly be studying him. It must be part of the program or an error with the station. But this was unlike any show Blake had ever seen before. And why was his image in the corner? Was this stranger taking notes on him? Blake slowly waved his hand to one side of the corner, and the corner image mirrored him. The man on the screen started to look worried and confused. It became paramount for Blake to capture what was happening. So what if this was connected to what had been happening recently? Without evidence, he would be incapable of proving it. Blake held up the phone of his trouser in his pocket, took a picture of the man with a Z-screen. Immediately, the man staring back at him became panic-stricken and started desperately pressing buttons. When that failed, he shouted for someone. However, no sound emanated from the speakers. Before Blake could get his phone to record the events, another man emerged from outside the periphery. Instant cutoff, and the scene went back to the news. What? What the fuck just happened here? The experience is more than enough to make even the sturdiest of all people crumble into a paranoid tin hat wearing conspiracist. Blake hurriedly switched the power off and unplugging every single electrical device he could find within the flat. That's fucking weird. Shirt button fly done up, sunglasses and headphones on, blood pumping music to start the day. There is nothing better. The sky was as fresh blue with no clouds in sight. This was a rare luxury in the city of Newstone. Blake walked around the outside of the park, and it was a great day for it. To the right, a silver car was sat waiting. The car plate read 321 tag 2. He recognized it from somewhere. It was the code they got from the CCTV camera. He had to know if they were connected. Blake peered into the car to catch a glimpse of the driver. Out of nowhere, he felt a needle-like sting penetrate the small of his back, in that awkward place where it's difficult to reach. Almost immediately, he began to find it hard to breathe, and lightheaded dizziness took over. Someone was here watching him. They knew he was onto them and getting close to the truth. They must have drugged him with a needle on it or a dart. He scanned the area. Lots of people on their morning commute, but none who looked suspicious. Fumbling out for his phone to call Jonathan, he began to wheeze harder. He has to pick up. He couldn't tell if anyone could hear him, but he could make out a figure as they rapidly approached him. Jonathan, someone... poison. The darkness claimed him. Sterile white light brought Blake back as he awakened in the hospital. Jonathan helped Blake check out and assisted him into the car. He didn't look worried. In fact, he looked a little amused. How old are you? What? 31. I haven't lost my memory. Yes, so in your 31 years on this planet, have you not once been stung by a bee? Rubbing his head, Blake seemed a little dazed, but not too bothered. You had an anaphylactic reaction. Luckily, it wasn't too severe, and there was a first aid officer in the park who administered an immunization vaccine, so you'll be completely dandy from here on out. No wonder I'm buzzing, eh? Well... No! Blake, why did you make a fucking pun? Why did you make a fucking pun? I told Max not to make puns, and then you fucking make a pun. I don't fucking like puns. Stop making puns. I hate puns. Well, apart from the cheesy jokes, he seemed back to normal. Starting to feel more with it, Blake remembered what he had been doing there before the sting. The car! There was a silver car on my way to work. The plate read 321 tag 2. It can't have just been a coincidence. You're right. We knew it had to mean something. And I caught a glimpse of the driver. He looked pretty rough. Big scar down one side of his face. We should wait in the same location and time tomorrow. I was about to suggest the same. In the interim, I will investigate the plate and brief you on my findings tomorrow. Anyway, let's get you back home. No, I've got work to do. Are you sure you're feeling up to it? Yeah, I'm all good. All right, then. On the drive to work, Blake caught Jonathan up on what has happened to his e-screen. Half an hour into his work, Blake heard a tap as something hit the back of the computer screen. He peered behind it. Orlo was peeping out from the side of his desk, and his manky, chewed pen was on the ground. Blake's desk reminding him of the madness that had been following him around lately. Is it true you were late because you were stung by a bee? He chose to ignore Orlo's question. Orlo continued to stare at him until he couldn't take it anymore. Why does it matter? Have you seriously never been immunized before? Oh, 3 questions in a row. You know what that means. Question match. What's a question match? You know, when you have to keep asking questions and whoever breaks the chain loses. Sounds easy. Want to bet? Let's go. Do you want to go first? It's okay, you go first. Oof, she got you there, buddy. Oldest trick in the book. Better luck next time, sweets. But I didn't know we'd started. Max gave a cheeky wink and Lee laughed a little. A hint of nervousness was there, but he did well to try and hide it. Lee hurriedly looked back down at his computer, hoping no one would notice his face going to a light shade of red. Just like her hair. Blake, Orlo, your turn. Rules. No one-word answers, no repeating, no statements posing as questions I don't know. Judge me. That gets the final say. Go. Blake thought carefully about his choice of words. Is nothing ever kept secret in this office? Why? What else are you hiding from us, mystery guy? Are you sure you'd want to know if I was? Sure, you'd want to know if I was? Any reason I wouldn't? Are you sure? You gave that a great try, but you lose. No one ever wins against me. Orlo flexed his bicep and winked. Fuck you. You two are insanely competitive. But fun. Anyway, you could have taken my eye out with the germ-riddled pen of yours. Doesn't matter. You've got a spare one. Blake couldn't help let a smile escape the corner of his lip as he shook his head at the two jokesters. Max and Orlo chuckled and snorted, escalating each other's laughter until they were all laughed out loud. Blake checked his phone. Dear customer, please accept this email as a formal apology from Even Corp regarding the tech issue on 30th of March. We would like to clarify to our customers that a researcher calculating viewer figures inadvertently streamed a live feed. We thus launched a visual connection on all affected Tronic e-screens and the New Stone facility. We're offering a 10% discount on all Tronic devices to those affected as compensation. The rest included small print which advised the puny offer was available for the next 10 days. Not that Blake was remotely roped in by it. Now there was proof that this random event was unrelated to the real problems at hand. Was it though? Was it though? Isn't it strange how you can get immunized when you're having a bad reaction to something? It's just a shame there isn't an immunizer for all your bad jokes. Oof, Max Hacks murked by Team Killer Orlo. You don't have to be so histamine about it. Boo! Get out! You're banned, Max! You're banned! Get out! Oh, it hurts. At that moment, Blank received a notification on his computer to return his HG device to Jonathan's office. He went to his locker and opened it. It's gone! Blake peered into the room from the side to the door to check if Jonathan was alone and not on a call. He saw Chris and Jonathan talking. I'm so sorry, Jonathan. I don't know where it is. You swear you have no idea, Cal? Who's Cal? Blake thought. My whole life is indebted to you. I have no reason to upset that balance. What about last week? What were you doing at my son's flat in the early hours of the morning? Last week after the work drinks, I got a weird message from him asking if I could come and help him. When I got there, he messaged me saying he sorted it out, whatever it was. I see. Blake stepped into the room, pulling the handle purposely make noise and get their attention as he walked in. Blake, do you have your HG device? I don't. It's not in my locker. And War Guy, you got your account back. Nice, bro. Let's go, suckers. So that makes both of you. Jonathan sighed and then smiled and nodded to Chris. Chris, that's all I wanted to ask you, and I apologize if it seems intrusive. It's not a problem. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Thank you. Jonathan walked Chris to the office door, closing it once the gargantuan figure had left. It was only you and I who knew my intentions to remove the HG devices, or so I thought. But to take both? My dumbass forgot to click change password. That's what everyone does. Nobody fucking, like, just... it's change password. This is rather troublesome indeed. This could mean we're possibly dealing with more than just one person here. For now, finding some evidence on the perpetrator or perpetrators is more pertinent. I'm going to need Lee to help me with this. Would you mind kindly retrieving Lee from the reception area for me? How do you know he's not at his desk? It's only a hunch, but mostly a likely one. I often find him down there talking to Andy at reception. I have no idea what they need to talk about, but if you find out, I'd love to know. Andy was at the front desk, unexpectedly alone. Hey man, have you seen Lee around anywhere? I've got Jonathan looking for him. No problem. Oh, no problem. He's just in my quarters. I'll go and get him. Blake raised a brow as Annie disappeared into the small room behind the desk. The door opened a few moments later and Lee came rushing out. Hi, I hear Jonathan is asking for me. Blake looked at Lee curiously and then at the door. What's happening in there? Oh, yeah, I was just trying to help Lee Shandy with fixing his e-screen. If it's broken, I'm sure Jonathan will get him a new one. No, it's okay. Lee scratched the back of his neck and looked uncomfortable. I don't buy it. What's really going on? Okay, look. I was connecting my tablet to his e-screen so he could watch me stream on Nudge. And he lives in that tiny room behind this desk. He's not working when he's not working, and like us, he gets bored sometimes. He's not the internet outside of work hours, and he even is mega restricted. I hacked my tablet so he can get access to Nudge. I'd be more worried he might start a channel and get Nudge famous than he'd be caught. Lee laughed. True, I hadn't thought of that. You're not going to say anything to Jonathan, are you? Safe with... Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Not feeling up to cooking, Blake decided to stop by Saucy Mama's and pick up something to eat. Blake spotted Max sitting alone. Go and say hi. Blake leaned to the side and put his hand up to catch Max's eye. Hey, Max. Are you waiting for someone? No, I'm just here on my own, but you're welcome to join me if you'd like. He feigned a smile. There was no reason for him to tell Max what was going on. Going to Arlo's tonight to eradicate the infestation of living dead. You want in? She was talking video game language already. The idea of playing games with Max and Orlo felt like it could be a distraction, but he wasn't sure that was what he needed right now. Not tonight, but another time. Boop! What can I get you two little sweet tarts? Do you want another tea or anything to eat? Go on then. I'll have another cup and a slice of that banana bread if you have any left. I'll have peanut butter toast, pizza cake. A pizza cake? What the fuck is a pizza cake? And a Bluebeard, please. That comes to 52 bits. Are you paying separately or together? I'll get this. Oh, thanks. Blake held out his phone for her to scan. All done. Your order's coming right up. Did she just call us sweet tarts? No, I think it was sweet tarts. You know, like sweetie pie, but a tart. That's not a thing, though. Maybe it was here. Want me to ask her? No! Max leaned and touched Blake's forearm. Don't do it. Okay, you have my word. Banana bread, huh? Nice choice. Banana bread! Hell yeah! I think I might be a bit like banana bread. Easy to digest, not too sickly. Some people love it, some people think it's gross. Sweet enough, and bananas. God damn it. She pulled a silly face and then smiled. I like banana bread a lot. I'm in the I like banana bread a lot category. Smooth. Why, thank you, Blake Gourdain. For a moment, she pulled a horrified face. Blake imagined it was the kind of face she'd pull if she'd walked in on Orlo naked. I'm sorry, I didn't think there. Are you planning to go by that name? I'm guessing everyone knows that, eh? I haven't really thought about it, but if I want in on the inheritance, I suppose I might have to. He pulled a playfully menacing face, which made Max chuckle. Kill me, Blake. You're a funny guy. She beamed and smiled softly. You've changed. Yeah? In a good way, I mean. It must have turned your whole world upside down when Jonathan told you he's your dad. I can't imagine what that's like. Yeah. Things have been a little crazy. How did he tell you? I don't imagine he invited you to a meeting and then just announced you to you in the office. No, he knew the office wasn't the right place, so I met him up here, actually. He was out going to tell me, but something came up and he helped me out. Now when I think back, it makes sense why he was so eager to help. Later that day, he was like, Blake, I am your father. Or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact words he used. Max smiled. That's a great impression. Blake chuckled as the server arrived, doing an impressive balancing act of cups and plates. Help her with the plates. Thank you, honey cake, but I've got this. Just press the button if you need anything, lovelies. That was kind of you to offer to help her. Conversation died down as Max's eyes transfixed onto the banana bread. Is something wrong with it? No, it's just that I'm watching what I eat at the moment. It was hard for Blake not to choke on the Bluebeard he'd sipped for one moment before, but he'd managed to force it down his gullet without going down in the wrong way. His chest bobbed up and down as he laughed without audio and shook his head. You got me. How do you come up with them so fast? I don't know. I guess they're just something very addictive about seeing people. Oh, she did a pun! Did fucking pun! Stop the puns! Stop the fucking puns! No puns! You don't get to do puns! You don't get to fucking do puns! Fucking bad! What other fucking person does goddamn puns? I swear to God. Alright. Buttered toast with a healthy slather of peanut butter on it, slightly burnt underneath but still hot, sat on a warm plate in front of Blake. He took the knife and cut it down the middle as his company observed. That's an unusual way to do it. Picking up one half of the toast and eyeing it, Blake gave his reasoning for the precision. Perfect symmetry. I've always thought that cutting it the other way would be cutting it from the side. That, to me, is weird. Both enjoyed their food. Blake observed the people sitting nearby and noted their nuances. Max shot out her phone to get her fix. Mouthful of food, she rushedly chewed to say something. Hey, what's up, Flamin'? Welcome back, man. Someone on the archives has claimed that KillVR killed an innocent, and they have proof. Well, it could be true. She placed her phone back down on the table. I don't know how I feel about this. Surely it isn't true. I guess it depends on what proof it is. Then again, if you're not given the full story, you can have proof of something and still not have the truth. He was starting to sound like Jonathan. I saw the documentary last night, and I just can't imagine KillVR deviating from their morals. So, you think their documentary is reliable? Let's have a look. A few searches later, and Blake had found out the name of the production company on his phone. It says here the production company, Evident Entertainments, are the largest shareholders of CloseX. And we all know CloseX are the primary sponsors for KillVR brand image. Their job is to make KillVR look good, great, if not awesome. You're right. I guess only time will tell. They talked some more and then headed their separate ways for the night. Oh, come on. You're gonna fucking blue ball me like that, game? Come on. I just want to... God damn it. I don't think this is a dating simulator, but you know. The next morning, Jonathan and Blake had an early morning stakeout. I've done a little digging into this car plate. Really? Did you find anything? Jonathan took out the jot pad from his breast pocket and flipped a few pages. The card is registered to a flip, Mr. Trout, and the registered address is in this town. However, I checked the address of the property belongs to Mr. and Mrs. Brown in a highly affluent part of Newston. Admittedly, I could be wrong, but this looks more like a fake address. It seems that whoever sent you that email has coaxed you down a further recondite rabbit hole. Blake took his reins and conducted a quick search through his phone. Tap, tap, huff, tap. Your hunch looks spot on. Mrs. Brown has Image Nation account. You can see her numerous pictures of her husband's topiary art on here, but have a look at this one in particular. Blake showed Jonathan the image. It showed Mr. and Mrs. Brown smiling in front of a large angel topiary. In the description it said, "Our little slice of heaven. Oz's biggest passion project at home. Hashtag top topiary. Hedgy art. Hedgy art and garden angel." He scrolled down to another image which showed a gardening charity event Mr. Brown had recently organized and raised a bunch of bits for. Oz Brown isn't our guy. That's not the man I saw in the car. He's not in any of these pictures. You're getting the hang of this detective work very well. I need to know who's... I have to. I need to know who's behind all of this. I can't help but feel like there's something that we're overlooked. Well, the truth cannot hide forever. So I guess this means this guy doesn't always take the same route. Or maybe works alternating hours, or yesterday was just a complete coincidence. It might not have even been a car plate. Sorry I dragged you out this morning. It's fine. It was great sitting in the car just watching the world go by like a real stakeout. We'll both have to be vigilant. Is something on your mind? Oh, is something on your mind? I mean, I didn't tell anyone, but it seems that some people in the office might know I'm your son. I suppose that was always likely to happen. I'm rather segregated from most of the office, but I imagine your colleagues knowing that I'm your father affects you. I don't mind people. I'm not bothered by it. I'm not hiding anything. I'm eating one of the best sandwiches ever. What is it? Jonathan let slip a smile. Neither am I, son. Beep. Blake checked his phone. From Blake. Oh. Meet me tomorrow outside the abandoned computer store at 6 p.m. alone. This message contains 2 attachments. Trout, Sam. He showed the message to Jonathan. It's from a local place. Oh, okay. What does it have on it? This one says it's from me, and there are 2 images attached. Do you think we could safely open them somehow? Let's take every precaution. Maxine would be good for this. He took out Maxine and plugged it directly into the charging port of Blake's phone and extracted the file. It took minutes for Jonathan to open the images that had been attached to the email. The first image. A square-faced, thin-lipped, middle-aged man who wore a scruffy-looking, dirty brown jacket. He looked like a doggy market tech trader who sold faulty 3D printers. Blake studied his face. I was expecting a picture of craniate gill-bearing freshwater fish. That's him! That's the guy I saw in the car. He doesn't look like good news if you ask me. The second image. The man in the second attachment looked familiar, but Blake couldn't think of where from. Taking out his phone, he stared. Bacon, salami, turkey, ham, and American cheese. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I might have to make some bacon later. And it's all fresh. Nice. Taking out his phone, he started up with the What's It app, took a picture of the image from Jonathan's computer screen, and waited for the app to load with the results from the web. Was it the scientist dude that he accidentally saw? The news article came up with a face recognition max. It was Sam Stevens, the man who had been on the news as a missing person last week. He hadn't recognized him in the attachment due to the stubble and bedraggled look comparison to the pictures shown in the news reports. Nerves suddenly bolted down through Blake's body as the idea of someone trying to frame him for his lit up in his mind. He seriously hoped the owl incident was an unparalleled occurrence and maybe this person wanted Blake to help them find Sam. Do you think this ruffian Trout is the man who kidnapped Sam Stevens? He caught himself using one of Jonathan's weird words and cringed. There's a picture on the wall in both images and they match. This Trout fellow is certainly involved somehow. What's all this got to do with me? I've never met any of these people before. Yes, why tell you this information and why now? It is with a deep-seated feeling of unrest when I say this, but I think whoever's behind this is inviting you to partake in their mind games. So far, they've coerced you into involvement of the misdeeds, trespassed onto your online ID, and taunted you through the means of poetry. None of the aforementioned events resemble the iota of the benevolent impulsion. You're right, I think. But I can't just ignore the fact that someone knows where Sam Stevens is. Then I'll go with you. You can't. It says I have to go alone. And I can't I can't let you put yourself in danger. We don't know how people are involved. It's a public place. I'll be okay, I'm sure. Acknowledged. But any worries of a misadventure, you message me right away and I'll be there. Got it. Oh, and put my car on speed dial. I'll have it parked near the area in case you need to make a quick getaway. Good idea. A tired Blake sat back on the sofa and enjoyed a cold blue beer, IE screen on. It was already Thursday. The days seemed like they melded into one. Recent days have been so eventful, too eventful. The cryptic messages, the disturbing events, and most importantly, his reunion with his dad, which had made him feel like he'd found a part of himself again. Many hours passed and Blake slept like what could only be explained a baby log. The chiming persistence of his phone woke him up. It was 1 p.m. All the strange occurrences had left him weary. 6 p.m. came around quickly. Blake filled his spare time with a visit to the communal gym in his complex, shower and lunch before leaving. You're back. Hey, welcome back, Mark. No one there on the corner. Unvexed, he decided to give it a while just on the off chance. Trying to avoid eye contact, he spotted Harry walking in his direction. As she got closer, he realized that it was inevitable that they would exchange niceties. Greeted with a hug, Blake became concerned that she might hang around and it wasn't a good time. Hiya! I am so excited we are going to the cinema. I was thinking we could go see Gloomy Night. It wasn't just a coincidence she had come down the road. She fully expected Blake to be there. It was like she knew she was meeting up with him, and that they had made plans. Was he being fucked with again? Most likely. This isn't a new one, though. They are doing a special showing of the original remake. The original remake? How was such an abomination allowed to exist? She wanted to go see that terrible, moody-looking drama franchise about a yeti that falls for a teenage girl. No surprise there. He'd never arranged to meet up with her, but assumed a message had somehow been sent to her in his name. He needed to know how and why without sounding like he'd lost his mind. So, what were you doing when we arranged to meet? My work, of course. Harry was unfazed by the mini interrogation, clearly preoccupied with excitement about the movie. And now Blake knew his work email had somehow been hacked. This was getting out of hand fast, but he had to go along with it for the time being. My parents came from celebrating a child getting interrogated by a priest in the oh-so-horrible Cold War. What? What the hell are you even saying, Mark? I'll be right back, guys. I gotta let my dogs out. See you right back. Alright, sorry about the wait there, guys. I had to get the mail as well and let the dogs out, and then I also had to make sure that our lizard got fed, so got that out of the way. Alright, so let's get back to the game. Which for some reason, whenever I click on it, it gets all like glitchy. Friendly, let's go. Okay, let's go. After this, we can go to Saucy Mama's for a death by chocolate. Watch Gloomy Night. Wait, did you hear something? Yeah, it came from over there in the forest. Can you go have a look? Okay, I'll go double check. Blake rolled his eyes. The misuse of the expression double check aggravated him. Quick, we need to leave. Okay, let me just grab my things. We don't have time. Why doesn't he just tell her what he saw? He doesn't have time. Plus, the filmmakers don't need to repeat what we've just seen. We can assume that happens off screen. She's really into this movie, Blake thought. I'm going to the plumber. Oh, would you mind getting me a Sparkle Nova candy when you're out there? Sure. They don't have it here though. You'll have to go over the road to get some. Okay. Blake exited the screening, took a peek, then instead of wasting part of his life, he stood outside for some fresh air. It was chucking buckets outside. Blake excuse me. Blake stood under cover from the rain so that he could check his phone. The curtain of water unveiled a silver car waiting for the taxi plane just steps away from the door. It looked like the one he saw in the park. Yes, it was Trout. He was a taxi assistant? It wasn't obvious looking at the car that it was a taxi, although most of them weren't. Blake knew he would have to follow the car and see where it went. He shared his location to Jonathan's car and summoned it. Text Harry to let her know you have to go. Blake decided it would be best to let Harry know an emergency came up and that he needed to leave immediately. As he was writing the message, Harry stepped outside. Blake, are you okay? Harry, look, something has come up and I need to go now. I'll come with you. Where are we going? No, you can't come with me. Why not? You didn't tell me where you're going. Blake watched as a woman ran up to the taxi and jumped in. They were about to leave. He had to act now. Jonathan's car showed up moments later. He shielded himself from the rain with his coat and made a run to the car's shelter. Harry followed. So I can come with you? No. No! Go away! He jumped in the car and Harry got in the back. I won't be any trouble. Trout's car started to pull away. Harry, you can't come with me. I'm not getting out unless you tell me why you're leaving and where to. I have to follow someone. Blake couldn't leave it any longer, otherwise the car would go out of sight. He released a sigh of adrenaline. Am I really going to do this? Do what? Look, just be quiet and try not to touch anything. Well, that's not very welcoming. I didn't ask you to come along. Blake selected rain mode and the water in the car windows instantly dispersed into tiny droplets before evaporating into nothing. Manual mode selected, that way he could keep up with the car in between them for the whole journey and tell behind without being seen. Following the car for half an hour, they headed into Newston. The car stopped outside a large house and the woman jumped out. She'd been let out of the car. That was a good sign. Who's she? I don't know. Then why did we follow her here? We're not. We're following the driver. Oh. Are you an undercover cop or something? No, it's a long story. I just need to know where he's going. Hold on. The car started on its way again. The sun had retreated, so Blake was hoping Trout would finish his shift. Otherwise, this could go on all night. All the anticipation and waiting was giving him a headache, but it didn't deter him. Patience paid off after another 45 minutes. They had ended up west in the decrepit part of Newstone, or as they call it, Newstown. Crime was rife, femme fatales and prostitutes aplenty, and the tech was behind the times. Blake considered that Jonathan probably acquired some of this as more vintage contraptions and items from this part of town, but couldn't imagine him having any connection to this area. They arrived at the entrance of the docks when Trout exited the car. Blake found a hill behind the docks to park and peered down to observe. Trout made his way to the entrance of a warehouse. This is where he was residing. Blake's instinct was to scope out the area, take his time, and carefully plan his next move. But time was of the essence. Maybe Sam was in there. Stay here. I need to go check this out. I won't be long. Okay. I mean it. This could be dangerous, and if I'm not back in 30 minutes, call the police and don't leave the car. Got it? Got it. Blake clenched his fists. His heart was pounding just as hard as he envisioned knocking on that door. He took in a deep breath and tried to remain calm as he approached the warehouse. The door opened. Before Blake had the chance to announce his presence, Trout looked behind Blake cautiously as to check if anyone was watching. Whatever unscrupulous activities he'd been involved in and witnessed in his lifetime, they'd taken their toll. His eyes were aged and tired. He looked like a man with very little patience. He stared at Blake, got out his phone, held it up beside him, looking at the picture on the screen, and then glanced at Blake again.
You're the Uber guy, ain't you? He told me you'd be coming here.
His voice reminded Blake of the crunching voice of gravel underneath a slow-moving truck. Trout gave an eyes lowered, knowing look, prodded his temple, and pointed at Blake. What? None of this made sense. With his mouth slightly agape, Trout's tongue ran slowly across the back of his lower teeth, and like a cobra enticing its prey to the snake pit, he muttered,
Come in.
The back of Blake's neck tensed up, taking in a deep breath. He tried to zen as much as he could. About to decline Trout's invite with some hasty excuse, Trout had already disappeared inside. Careful of walking into a trap, Blake peered inside the warehouse. He contemplated of his choice of going unarmed. It was stupid. He couldn't take Trout even if he wanted to. He was all muscle, no fat. But he had no choice now. Alert, Blake inspected and scrutinized the area and followed the clicking noise coming from the corner of the room. Trout pushed a mug of tea into Blake's hands as he entered and leant against the counter in a relaxed manner. Blake stared at the tea. At least he was armed with boiling water. Have you been sending me the messages?
What messages? Why would I be sending you messages? Are you fucking with me?
Trout's face contorted and screwed as he spoke in a sloth-like manner. It was as if every word and heavy boulder was being pushed out in order to get to the next. Blake was lost. Where's Sam Stevens? Blake's grip tightened around the handle of the mug.
I did my bit. The bond has been dealt with. But let's get this one fling straight. You do your bit, and I do mine. If I see you tailing me again, the deal is off. Now let's stop all this fucking around. You got my moolah?
Visibly agitated, Trout tensed his shoulder and tilted his head to side, releasing a discordantly loud crack in his neck. Blake placed his cup down on the table. If things were about to escalate, he might need both his hands. Where is Sam Stevens? Take me to him now.
Mate, I can't take you to his body. It's gone. I got rid of it just like I told you. I did my bit as asked. What do you think we're playing at?
Why the fuck would I give you money? Who told you to kill him?
What?
Releasing a deep chuckle, Trout placed his mug on the counter while shaking his head and wagging his finger.
I didn't kill him. Your brother did.
Who?
This is a fucking joke, right? You said you'd be coming, and here you are, and you come acting like you don't know shit at all.
Who killed him?
I thought you were having me at first, but judging by your face, you ain't have a fucking clue what's going on, do you?
Trout said in a sly tone that dripped with slime. A guttural laugh rose from him again. Trout snatched his phone from the counter and prodded the screen a bit. A low-bellied laughter faded off as he handed the phone over to Blake. This is what your bro did. Bro looked proud of himself, like he was holding the ace, and then did his discontorting tongue thing again. Blake looked at the phone and looked at the image on the screen. Immediately, his stomach tightened in reaction to the sight. He was too late to save the missing man. A knife protruded from Sam's lifeless body, slumped on his chair, and blood soaked down his top. His face black and blue, just like the picture had been sent. Trout was in the background, walking towards the edge of the screen, meaning someone else was behind the lens.
That's one fucked up family you've got there, mate.
Stay calm.
Now go sort out my money with your fucking brother and tell him to pay me pronto, you got it?
I don't have your money.
Are you back chatting me, boy?
Blake heard a click. Then he saw this light shine off the switchblade knife Trout had taken out.
I don't really want to get back to the blind, but you answer me question back again and I fucking swear I'll fucking cut your tongue out and stick him up between your meat pouches. You get what I'm saying?
Put the knife down. Harry, what the fuck are you doing? I told you to stay put.
Trout swung around and grabbed Harry's knife to her throat. Who the fuck are you? Why are you fucking stalking my warehouse?
Harry stood still and said nothing. Trout, let her go. She has nothing to do with this.
Trout raised his voice. Spittle flew everywhere, and his rage increased. I said, who the fuck are you?
Let me and my friend go, and we'll leave you be unharmed. Harry's tone was firm and calm. Is she like a fucking agent or something?
She was a completely different person. Unharmed? Unharmed! If you would have noticed, love, you're not a fucking position to be given.
Before he could say another word, Harry slipped out of his grasp, and in a couple of swift moves, she knocked the knife out of his hand and caught it.
Twirling around him faster than he could process, she hit him in the back of the head with a knife handle. He fell into a pile on the ground.
Did you just kill him? No, he's out cold. We should leave before he wakes up. Okay then. What the hell just happened? I stopped him from killing you. He wasn't going to kill me. How do you know? I don't. That's not the point. What's more, he could have killed you. You did some crazy fast moves back there. I'm sorry, it looked like you were going to get hurt. I was just protecting you. Well, thank you. No worries. How about we get some chalk tales to shake off these nerves? I'm in.
She didn't sound her normal, enthusiastic self. There wasn't much talking for the rest of the journey back. They both needed some time to process what had just happened.
They have my favorite.
Blake pointed towards an empty table.
Okay, I'll just...
Harry had made a beeline for the cocktail counter and was already out of earshot. Blake sat down and observed the bar. Moments later, Harry came rushing back, holding 2 sundaes, then set one down in front of Blake.
And here it is, Death by Chocolate.
She sat down opposite Blake and stared at the sundae for a moment, while holding a long, dainty dessert spoon. Blake could tell she was savoring the moment, like it was some sort of ritual of gratitude.
Thanks, that was really sweet for you to give me one. It's no bother. You're going to love it, trust me.
Harry had her first taste of Death by Chocolate and rolled her eyes.
Did you know that there is a rare fruit from Castor that tastes just like chocolate ice cream? No, not heard that before. Who told you that? I tried it myself.
She took her picture out of her phone, and a few moments later on WhatsApp, she was showing Blake the information. It looked legit.
You look surprised. I am surprised. Why?
Blake took a closer look at the information.
Well, this says here it's only available on the Shadow Web, and you don't look like the sort who'd go on there. Harry raised and Smiley raised her eyebrows. People are almost always never how we expect them to be. That's certainly been the case in this evening. That, and you're the only person I know who would use the shadow web for buying ice cream flavored fruit of all things. Harry laughed and threw a napkin at Blake, which hit him square in the face. She looked embarrassed and hid her mouth with her hands. Sorry. It's okay, I deserved it. It was a fucking napkin. Like, what? It's a fucking piece of paper. It's fine. But no, I didn't get it from the shadow web. I visited a small local food hut in Castor. You've been to Castor? Yes, among other places. Don't look so surprised. Everyone was so nice and accommodating. A chef presented it to me and told me that was one of those that only those with a true heart can experience the sweetness of the Yama fruit. And what about those that don't have a true heart? Well, I don't know for certain because, as you can see, I'm true of heart. But for those that aren't, I was told that it leaves a bad taste, and for how long it depends on what you've done in the past. What does it mean exactly to be true of heart? Harry appeared serious, whilst deep in thought over the question Blake had just posed to her. She was idly prodding her ice cream with a spoon, not paying attention to how fast it was melting. Someone who strives to do good. So you're always good? What about when you knocked the guy out back there? I was saving you. It doesn't count if it's for a good cause. Blake straightened out the napkin on the table, and there was a calmness in the air. Blake made sure to get Harry back home safely. As he sat alone in the car, the drug had sunk in. He'd failed. He let Sam die. Not only that, but apparently the hands of his flesh and blood. The revelation that he had a brother was too much to comprehend. The burning question was it all a big misunderstanding, or had Jonathan had kept a secret from him? Did he have a brother that Jonathan failed to mention? The picture Jonathan had given him on the USB didn't show a brother. Would Jonathan have gone through the trouble of editing him out? That didn't seem right, unless at that time his brother hadn't been born yet. The rain had stopped in the windows as Blake pulled up to Jonathan's house. He'd intended to go home, but this couldn't wait. He had to know. Blake's phone started ringing. The no number showed. Due to the most recent events, he worked up the courage to answer. Hello? Hello. You may be eligible for the claim of a recent accident. Blake suspected from the robotic incantations of the voice it was a primitive call center droid. Who programmed you? I was created by the MBI Sherlock program. I will now assist you with your claim. Please, can I take your full name? It's pronounced eligible, not illegible. Thank you, eligible. Your claim reference number is... Blake hung up and shook his head angrily. As much as he preferred droids to act more human than robotic, the programmers could at least get such a small grammatical detail correct. He shuddered at the thought of how many times a day the electronic voice would say that line. Blake, there you are. Is everything okay? What happened? Is there anything you want to tell me? Jonathan looked confused and worried, but didn't offer any dialogue. A minor detail you forgot to mention when you told me you're my dad? Jonathan still looked mystified and shook his head, shrugging slightly. I don't know what you're asking me, son. You look like you could do with a drink. Jonathan moved over to the drinks cabinet and poured 2 glasses of neat whiskey, handing one over to Blake. The calmness that exuded from Jonathan started to ease Blake out of this tense taste. How about that I have a brother? You don't have a brother. Why would you think that? I found Trout and confronted him. He told me that my brother killed Sam Stevens. Blake took a sip of whiskey. The liquor was bitter and made him shake in his head involuntarily. He seemed pretty certain of it, and I know I don't have a brother with my adopted family, so what was he talking about? I don't know. He could have confused you with someone else. Did he ask you your name or identify you in any way? So you swear I don't have any siblings? I swear. Blake sighed, partly out of relief and partly out of feeling like he was back to square one. Then, at least tell me about Mom and what happened. Where is she? Jonathan appeared a little uncomfortable. There was a sea of emotion behind his eyes. I don't think so. Another time, Blake. I think it's time that we insist. I can see you're hurt, but please tell me. I need to know about my family. Jonathan downed the remaining whiskey in his glass. Okay. Jonathan shuffled his weight as if to balance his thoughts. Your mother and I went through a rough patch when you were 6 years old. His eyes flicked up with an intensity and fixed onto Blake. I suffer from persistent migraines. I was working hard on computers for lengthy periods, striving to build my own company, to begin my legacy. I became a cantankerous bastard. Yeah, I know that. And your mother, she was lovely and had the patience of a saint. I worked so hard that it felt like someone was slowly sticking pins in my back, and each time it made me flinch. It felt like I was a fucking hedgehog. At this point, Jonathan got up, took the whiskey bottle and topped off their glasses. Blake could tell from Jonathan's language and the alcohol had started to take effect, and he warmed to the fire it and ignited in the old man's fatigued eyes. One night, your mother, Rachel, attended a friend's dinner party, so I stayed home to look after you. It was a difficult night. You were young and restless, just as children you are at that age. Blake was amused by Jonathan's use of archaic words. Hardly anyone said children or mother. Blake was intrigued to hear much more about Rachel. I finally got you to settle down, and I watched you fall asleep. The morning after, I remember very clearly. You toddled into our room complaining about the painful eye. It was a mid-slumber. Your mother started questioning me in a shrill voice, interrogating me about what happened last night. We had a camera set up in the hallway outside your room. We checked it, and I saw I'd put you to bed at the time that you were fine. You never left your room. Needless to say, I didn't have a coffee to wake me from my sleep. I couldn't appease her. I didn't have the answers she just so desperately needed. You were a hyper whippersnapper. I assumed you must have woken up in the middle of the night and knocked into something. She thought the worst. And what else could she think? Rachel feared that I had raised a hand to you when I put you to bed, but I would never, ever harm you, so I was hurt that she would consider such an idea. Blake didn't bother to answer what a whippersnapper was. To ask what a whippersnapper was. You could take a guess. Jonathan avoided the use of old terms at work whenever possible, but around Blake, he could be himself. You were upset and confused, and so was I. The accusations flew back and forth, and our relationship deteriorated between myself and your mother. Over the next few days, you had an unexplained bruises appear on your body around your neck. We'd ask what happened to you, and you would just tell you didn't remember. Your memory problems got worse. The relationship between myself and your mother became irreconcilable. And after an acrimonious amount of exchange of words, your mother decided to go away and stay with her parents in Hollywood, a good 3-hour drive away. The atmosphere had changed. Jonathan looked glum as he gathered his thoughts. A stillness interrupted the flow of the conversation. Downing his drink, Blake offered to break the quiet and get Jonathan a top-up. On his return, Jonathan had enough time to muster up the courage to continue the story. She, of course, took you with her, but you didn't arrive at her parents' house that day. Her parents contacted me, and I contacted the police. No one had heard from her. The search party was rolled out that evening. A few hours later, within the early hours of the morning, the car was found parked on the side of the main road leading to Hollywood, with you curled in the back, fast asleep. The car had broken down, so she must have gotten out to flag down some help. ACH34R, okay. Then well, who knows? She was nowhere to be seen. It was a blessing that they found you. Relief doesn't even begin to explain how I felt, and then she told me you were safe. Let me see if I can line up a face here. But they never found her. The authorities advised that it was highly likely that she'd been abducted and murdered. My poor Rachel. His eyes welled up with tears as he quickly looked to the side and blinked them away. I'm so sorry I'll never get to see her again. This is so hard. There was a lot for Blake to process.
He felt that he had gained so much and lost it all in one go.
Why don't I remember all this clearly? Part of me thought you might recognize me when you first joined ICC, but now I can see a lot of this information is new to you. I've put that down in the memory issues you were having at around that time. Okay, my back hurts. I'm done. Blake took out his phone and loaded up the family photo. They both looked at it. Those were happy times. I look pretty old for a 6-year-old, don't you think? What can I say? You're a fast grower. I suppose it didn't help that I wanted to dress you in old-fashioned outfits. When your mother let me, of course.
They chuckled.
He didn't ask for any more information, but they stayed up late and talked and talked. They caught up on missed years, the things that they hadn't done together. They compared their travels, likes and dislikes, and mused to life's mysteries. Time slipped away quicker than they anticipated. You need to get some rest. You are looking rather disheveled, understandably so. A significant slumber will refresh your focus for tomorrow.
Jonathan set up a spare room for Blake and insisted he'd sleep over for the night.
The softest threads, the pillow and mattress felt like sinking into a cloud made of marshmallows, and of course, it was one of the high-end smart beds with its own built-in E-screen and console. Blake had one of the best night's sleep he had had in a long time. Morning came and Blake decided to head home. On his way back, he checked on his phone. Okay, let's save here. From Orlo. Hey Blake, fancy going for a drink with me tonight at SM's? I guess. Blake texted Orlo back accepting his invite to Saucy Mama's. Oh, the best table! Why is that? When you look at the building as a floor plan, this seat right here, it's almost a perfect equal distance between the bar and the plumbers. That and where the speakers are placed. Orlo pointed to the 6 small boxes dotted around the room. The music is at an ideal level where you won't have to shout. He smiled and gave a cheeky eyebrow raise, then went back to the relaxed manner, sitting back, comfortable and confident. Anyway, enough about the aesthetic in here. What do you think of ICC so far? I like it. I mean, it's ICC. I'm so lucky to have the job out of all those who applied. It felt like I won jackpot against all odds. But now I'm not so sure if it was just luck. Orlo smiled and shook his head. You're right. It wasn't luck. It was your talent. You were the best candidate for the job, and they were right to choose you. Thank you. From where I'm sitting, it seems like you're doing a good job so far. What about Max? She's a bit much, right? Never shuts up.
He winked and chuckled, then brushed his hand over his own chin.
I'm kidding. I love the girl, really. I know, you two make a good team. It's nice seeing everyone get along so well. You two do chat a lot, though. It would be nice to have some peace and quiet sometime. You cheeky bastard.
The remark made
Blake laughed and his eyes scanned for the drinks behind the bar. What would you like to drink? Orlo looked up to the side of his chin, his hand cupping his chin. His eyes lit up in what seemed to be a light bulb moment. You see the cocktail maker over there? He twitched his head in the direction towards the end of the bar. The big neon thing with a large sign that reads cocktail maker. You could see by Orlo's expression that he was enjoying the witty ripostus. If you make me a cocktail, I'll read your fortune based on your choices. Interesting. It's a deal. Alright, let's see here. Glass 2, class 3, glass 4. Alright, blueberry and strawberry. We'll put some ice cubes in there. Submit. What is the name of your cocktail? ShiftBugGarita. It's a shitty name, but you know what? It works. Let's see what you've got. Orlo inspected the drink, covered his hands over it, and wiggled his fingers.
Orlo pointed out the colors of the cocktail.
you'll find something that's been lost for a while. I see you something about a ledge. The ice, interesting. You're feeling a little isolated right away now. Fucking Bon! I hate you now, Orlo. I hope you fucking die. But that feeling is only temporary, and it will soon melt away. That's everything. What do you think? How did I do? You were very accurate, spot on with your reading. Spooky, actually. Orlo looked pleased and very proud of himself. I knew it. I told you I have talent. Mind if I try your drink? Go ahead. Orlo took a sip. ShiftBugGaming is tasty. Thanks. Monday came around too quickly. Blake's mood was gray as the sky above him. There was a rumble in the distance, thunder. Alright. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to go ahead and save here. Because I am starving and I need to eat something. So, I think what we're going to do here is now I'm going to go ahead and quit. And let me just go here. Boosh. All right. Well, I'm very intrigued. I'm getting into the story a bit. I want to continue this at a later date, but I'm thinking that for as far as the showcase goes, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely got a lot of mystery behind it. I do want to, like I said, I do want to continue this. But in the meantime, I've been streaming for about 3 hours now. It's going to be a 3-hour video on YouTube. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, like the video, share it around, tell your friends about it if you like me on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well because I often stream a lot. So, but I try to stream as often as I can, I should say. But yeah, eventually I do plan on doing some compilation videos and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for those. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first off end the recording for YouTube. So YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this, again, subscribe, like the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.